And to dive deep into the fraud, I met back up with the local David.
The local David. I love it.
The Somalis are the most violent people.
This guy earlier literally said that he would follow vans to Costco with Somali people in them.
I've followed some of them. They're going to Costco. They're going to Sam's Club.
Dude, you're stalking Somalians.
So if you have 800 NEMT companies, 20 vehicles, 10 trips a day, and it's $50, do the math.
Based on David's estimations, they're doing $3 billion of work a year on $190 million a year.
This is a massive parking lot here. They should not have any excuse as to why they don't have their vehicles here.
This company is registered with the DOT website for 2 people. The guy's probably going around working.
I tried to arrange a ride with one of these Somali transportation companies. They said they were all full.
Oh, okay. So can you show us you on that phone call?
Now we're at...
Nope, we're not going to do that. No one's arguing that there isn't fraud. It's just that you didn't do anything and your investigative research sucks. You're showing up to areas. You're not calling any of these businesses. You're not checking any of their DOT numbers. You're not doing what an investigative journalist would normally do. All right, guys, let's do this, baby. Let's do it. We're gonna restart this video. It is what it is, man. Let's just go. Yeah, we had a little crash out the other day. Let's restart it. Coming in with a fresh head. We're a little humbled. Hopefully this will be a better react then. Let's just get this party started, baby. Let's go.
I'm asking No. You don't ask me nothing. 2.2.
Whoa, that is a little too fast. That is a little too fast.
$5 million.
Whoa.
Are we the only community that does fraud?
Probably not. No.
They said this building was closed.
This guy gives me Nick Shirley energy. You know what I'm saying?
Do you guys know where advanced mobility is? Advanced mobility? Yeah, we're looking for it. Never
This guy looks like he knows what's going on in this building.
heard of it?
They know we're shining the light on the fraud.
Oh my God.
And they have no defense.
They've got none. These basic people on the street, they don't have any defense.
Would you like to see anybody in the government here held accountable?
Most definitely.
Wow, what a vague statement. Same?
Most definitely, because there can definitely be an allocation of funds.
So true, King.
Minnesota fraud scandal continues to get worse and worse as billions of dollars of fraud has been
Is it AI?
exposed, and as I
Well, you guys didn't really expose anything. Like, we already knew that there was fraud, right? Like, we knew there was fraud. This is highlighting the situation in the worst way possible. You guys didn't really do anything. Kind of already know there's fraud, though. You know, I guess highlighting something, but all of his journalism sucked. Like, right? I mean, this is the funniest part because you have this learning center. He didn't call a single number in his video. Why wouldn't you just call the number and be like, hey, can I enroll my kid? Said he's like pounded on the doors. I was like, oh, okay. Or like, why didn't you show up when the business opened? That would have been like the most basic level of journalism. So I don't know. It's just terrible.
showed the world the blatant fraud taking place at daycares and other locations.
I love this one. This one's my favorite, dude. Because he said that 14 of these were all the same healthcare company. There's like 20 on the board. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 20. This is like some kind of like a commercial center. And he's like, 14 of these are all the same healthcare. And then you got like an African Immigrants Community Service, a Dollar General office, a First Daycare. There's one. Then you got a York Trading, a law office, a consulting office. There's another home healthcare, different from daycare, a senior center, different from those two. Human health services, which is just general healthcare. Home services, which is, there you go. We have home healthcare. That's a duplicate. But I mean, we live in a capitalist country, right? So like, you're going to have multiple businesses doing the same thing. It's about competition to make sure one doesn't take over and do shitty stuff. Then you have whatever the fuck this is, some kind of express service, a logistical place. Here's another home care. So now we have 3 home cares, right? Then this is a regular health care, and that's a duplicate from another one. Then you have Present Help. I don't know what that is. Some kind of coffee place, a distributor, Safari Services, and then 2 community services for the Somalians, and then like a Somali Bener Deer, you think I'd pronounce it by now. The point that I'm making here is that like there's 3 duplicates of some healthcare agents, of home healthcare agencies. Everything else is not a duplicate. And it's not even, it's like, it's 3 different home care services. But he's like, oh, there's 14. There's not even 14 things to do with healthcare on this board. There's like 7. And it's like, this guy is such a fucking phony baloney bitch. It's just so funny. It's just, but nobody like actually took the time to pause this and like watch it. They're just like, yeah, here's another argument. It's like, no, it's not an argument, dude. He just lied to your face and you believed it. Like, you're kind of a sucker.
Across Minnesota, it became the most viewed video expose on the internet and created instant.
I love that he included the part where he tries to break in.
It became the most viewed video.
They close the door and he pulls on the door.
Internet.
Why would you show your biggest L?
And created instant change within the government as the Fed sent thousands of federal agents to Minnesota.
And caused a lot of problems and shot a woman in the face because the ICE officer went against his training, stood in front of a vehicle, and you know, instead of jumping out of the way first when she tried to drive away, he pulled his gun first to shoot her and kill her. And any thumping you hear on his cell phone camera, it's because he drops his phone. So it's just like, okay, cool stuff, man. Like, the guy doesn't have internal bleeding. Nobody believes that. Let's just knock it off, dude.
And the HHS froze over $185 million in all payments to childcare.
Thank God they froze all that money for those kids who needed it, because there might have maybe 5% of the shit going on was fraudulent. It's like, okay, that's a great idea. Harm people. Good stuff.
And while politicians like...
I'm really curious, though. Has Trump pardoned fraudsters? Oh, yeah. Here's a laundry list of the fraudsters that he's pardoned. This is the fucking 6 fraudsters he's pardoned. There we go, guys. There you go. Hey, guys. It's me, MAGA. We care about fraud unless Trump is doing the fraud. That's incredible. Wait, what's going on with that cell phone, by the way? What's that Trump phone? It was supposed to come out last year. What is it, $100 down? It was supposed to be made in America, right? But it's made in China now? Oh, we don't care about fraud. We don't actually care about fraud. And by the way, we do care about fraud. The people on the left aren't saying there's no fraud. They're saying there's already being investigated. There's 90 people being investigated or 90 people were charged already, 60 of which have been convicted. Like, all before any of Nick Shirley's shit. We've already known this. You know what I mean? It's like you're just highlighting Tim Walz because he's the only like Democrat bad person that they can highlight. Like, Biden's out of the picture, Kamala's out of the picture. So like Walz, he's the next one up. So it's like, oh, let's go bully Minnesota because Walz lives there. Let's see what kind of dumb shit we can go over there. Nobody's talking about like there's shit going on in Texas and Florida. There's shit going on everywhere, man. You know, but it's conveniently Nick Shirley works with the local GOP. Maybe the GOP got a phone call from Trump saying, get this guy down here. We need an idiot to come over here and do a horrible, journalist work too. And then we're going to signal boost it right when the Epstein files are supposed to release. You see how it's just, I don't know, maybe I'm fucking conspiracy brain, but I think it's all linked.
Tim Walz called people like me white supremacist and far right.
Hey, call me white supremacist. Okay.
Delusional conspiracy theorist.
Yes.
For exposing the fraud. Meanwhile,
he didn't expose anything.
He actually dropped out of running for re-election.
He shouldn't have done that. That was pretty pathetic.
Minnesota fraud scandal has erupted the nation as protests and riots took place, all starting because daycares like Quality Learning Center were exposed.
I loved it because Quality Learning Center wasn't exposed. Did you guys not watch the Andrew Callahan video? Andrew Callahan's one of his questions like, hey, there were like a lot of violations at the Quality Learning Center. How could there be violations with the misconduct there if there were no kids? And he goes, there we go.
It was closed while that guy is outside telling people that the daycare is open.
I mean, it seems like that learning center has had a serious history of violations.
Quality Learning Center, yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Going back to 2020.
Yeah, it's literally not a daycare.
But how could they have violations related to childcare if there was no kids there?
Yeah, the way they're operating inside of there, they had the violations. Those people are not able, they were operating fraudulently inside that daycare.
Okay. So just to be clear, you wouldn't have violations because auditors come there and they'll see like what's going on inside. If they have a laundry list of violations, that means that it was a daycare that was operating with kids, right? Let's read the violations. Children's files did not contain all the required items. Okay, so they didn't have all the items in the files. Carpets and rugs were not in good condition. They didn't meet safety requirements. Infant feeding schedules were not available in a food preparation area. The conditional license was not posted in a prominent place. A license action was not posted in a prominent place. The correct number of qualified staff were not present, which means they didn't have enough staff for the number of kids they had. right? Which means they had the kids. The license holder did not comply with all terms of the order of conditional license. Staff orientation training did not include all required items.
Kids in danger.
And so why?
Oh, okay. So we have like all of those were like one of those was literally you didn't have enough staff for the kids, but he's still doubling down on his biggest L. Why? Because he's not honest. This guy doesn't make mistakes and say, "Oh, I fucked up." He continues to double down. That's the difference between people like him and people like me. Okay? Not trying to be that fucking guy, but I'll take my fucking L's. But when this motherfucker will refuse to take an L when he gets fucking blasted, no, he doesn't deserve anybody's respect. And there's no reason to apologize to a fucking worthless piece of shit like this. I'm sorry, but he can't even take his own fucking L's.
However, the daycares is only a small portion of the fraud taking place in Minnesota.
Oh, really? How did you figure that out? Is it because they were already investigating it?
In this video, I will take you into what has continued to allow this fraud to happen and connect all of the dots for you, exposing all of the fraud from strange connections.
I love it when people like third graders read to me. Connect the dots for me.
Of the business owners and the
Wait, what is this?
dots for you, exposing all of the fraud from strange connections of the business owners and the politicians who have openly admitted to the fraud on live TV.
Are you saying you're going to expose all of the information that came out a month before you started your investigation that was on Fox News a month before you started your investigation? You're going to expose the stuff that's live on the Fox News channel that we saw a month ago already? You're going to expose, he's going to expose the things that were on national television from a month ago. Guys, he's going to show us things that happened a month ago before his investigation even started. He's exposing the things that already were out there. Do you understand? This is fucking crazy. He's trying to say he invented the wheel. I'm going to expose all these things that are already on national news. I'm going to reference the Fox News channel.
Owners and the politicians who have openly admitted to the fraud on live TV.
Okay, so you're not exposing anything. Okay.
And to dive deep into the fraud, I met back up with the local David, who has been investigating this
The local David. I love it. The local David.
widespread fraud scandal for years.
Beautiful.
So here in Minnesota, you have daycare fraud, you have adult daycare fraud, you have healthcare fraud.
You got to add the adult one in there because I made fun of him because he said there's no kids here, and then pointed at then he pointed at an adult daycare sign. This is my favorite part.
Into these daycare centers all across Minnesota.
All across.
And there's not a child to be seen anywhere.
How many takes do you think he has to do to get across like a single sentence?
Here's another daycare center inside the same
It says adult, by the way. Adult daycare center.
building.
We don't want you to be videotaping anything.
They're walking down the adult daycare center. Just be clear.
Where is all the money going for if there's no children at these daycare centers?
Dude, he's walking to the fucking adult daycare center wing. And he's like, where are all the kids? Where's all the money going? It's like, okay, good stuff, man. I love that.
Fraud, and you even have more fraud. What's some of the fraud that's also taking place here inside of Minnesota?
Okay, let's see.
Well, what I think might be
what he thinks. I love what people think.
sort of the heart of the beast here is this transportation fraud. And what I mean by that is in Minnesota, we have something called non-emergency medical transportation, NEMT.
Yes,
My research has shown that there are about 1,020 such companies in Minnesota.
Yeah. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, so just to be clear, the way that the NEMT services work in Minnesota, some of these companies are as small as like one person. It's like one person that, like, I think they even work with Uber in some instances. They'll work with Uber Health, right? So there's these different things. There's some companies that are small. They'll have like one person companies. It's just a person, or there could be like 3, 5 vehicles, 10, 20 plus. It depends. There's a lot of smaller industries here, and that's usually what's championed by conservatives. Because the idea is if you kind of keep it within the free market, these different companies will have a competition with each other. So the shitty ones will kind of fall to the side and the good ones will rise to the top. That's how things used to work by me when it came to like school buses and stuff. And then one company kind of took everything over, and now it's like very streamlined. And I guess you'd probably argue it's more efficient. I mean, that's what you get, more competition with the potential of being able to weed out the bad ones versus like less competition with one centralized company that could probably do things faster and more efficiently and more effectively, right? And so Minnesota isn't super robust.
And more than 90% of them are Somali owned.
Oh, Do you have like proof of that? I also don't care. But I don't think is that true? I mean, I wouldn't really doubt that whatsoever. Especially again, like let's say you come here and you need a job. Like a lot of fucking brown people do Uber. I'm not trying to be, but it's because it's a job where you just have to get a car and you just have to start driving, right? And so they have to register. They have to be like more. I think they need to get a CDL. I think they need a CDL with a passenger license on it to do this. But it's somewhat easy to do that. So you go and you get a CDL passenger license and you get a vehicle and you register that vehicle and then you can get a job. They're doing the hustle. And so it's going to be people that like are a little bit more opportunity stricken that need these opportunities that'll do it. You're probably not going to have like a Nick Shirley, some fucking white kid who grew up rich that's going to go and drive, Ubers by yourself to go do these van services. It's not it. So even if that is true, like that makes sense. Like, you're going to have people that are immigrants that come here and that's going to be the job that they're going to be able to do. Of course.
And so right here on the table.
But I don't even know if that's true because like there's no confirmation.
But what do we have? All this information right here.
So I have a number of companies that are local here in the Twin Cities, and this is just a fraction.
Like he just makes this claim, but he doesn't actually verify. He just says it and that's it.
Of the companies that are out there. What I found was that the national average for a non-emergency medical transportation company is 20 vehicles per company.
Okay, but that's the national average. So I don't know if you guys know this. Minnesota, it's not as big as all of the states combined and Minnesota. So it's not gonna have 20 per company.
A lot of these companies, their address is an apartment.
That makes sense, yes, because again, it's going to be one person working with Uber Health to drive for the NEMT services. Yes.
Some are in a house.
Yes.
Some are in a convenience store.
Yeah, all these make sense.
Some of them in a vacant building. There's no signage. There's nobody there.
Okay, well, I mean, it'd be great if you could prove that, but okay, cool. I'll take your word for it again.
And so why would there be such a need for all these transportation companies here inside of Minnesota?
Because they don't have one big streamlined transportation company.
So if you think of this transportation as the hub of the wheel.
Right, if I decide to conspiracy brain myself, yeah.
So childcare is a spoke, adult daycare is a spoke, autism's a spoke.
There's multiple spokes of autism, yeah.
The
maybe 2, some people say on the screen. Maybe 3 on the screen right now.
Interpreter services, which we can get into, that's another spoke. It all ties back to transportation.
I think it all ties back to the daycare centers, the different. So what but I mean, he's making it seem like this would be the central core of it. The core of it would be the different types of daycare centers. So childcare, the adult care, and even like day hab services for people with autism or people with intellectual and developmental disabilities, not just autism. It could be Down syndrome, traumatic brain injuries. Maybe these two could benefit from those services. And then the transportation vehicles, they drive people to these places. But they also drive them to get groceries. This is the problem. I used to work for a transportation company before I became a YouTuber. I used to make sure that the buses were clean for people who got dialysis and they got to get their groceries and they went to and from different places as long as they qualified for the service because they either had like a healthcare problem or they had like an intellectual or developmental disability. Like that's what I did. That was part of my job, was making sure those buses stay cleaned. So I understand the infrastructure more than David, the conspiracy theorist that probably retired at 55 and now is super bored, or Nick Shirley, the guy with the TBI that doesn't know how to say words very well and has to do 16 takes just to get anything out.
Why? Because those meals someone had to deliver those meals.
Oh, wow.
Someone has to deliver the kid to autism.
True. Taking him to the autism, baby.
Or say they did. So it
or say they did
revolves around the transportation.
Yeah, this is so funny though, because like one of the biggest jobs in 29 states, the biggest job is literally driving a truck. Like, hey, did you guys know that transportation is the lifeblood of our economy? Whoa, yeah, I know that. People need to get places. things need to get places. You need to transport gasoline. You need to transport food and clothing, and everything needs to be transported from the place it gets made to another place. And sometimes people need to get transported from their homes to get food or to doctor's appointments. It's not that crazy, dude. It's very normal.
And so
and to be clear, I'm not saying there's no fraud. I'm just saying that this guy's just saying things. Like, there are instances of fraud that have been investigated since way before Shirley was here. And he acknowledges this.
When you're looking at this, you say, okay, well, let's just be conservative. Let's go on the low side. Let's say there are only 800 Somali-owned non-emergency medical transportation companies in Minnesota.
Why do you need to do a for instance if you know the exact number? Like, where's your data on the number of people who are doing these that are Somali? I don't think that you have that. I think that you're saying that without any confirmation.
Well, again, the average is 20 vehicles per company.
That's the national average. That doesn't mean that it's the same here.
So that's 800 times 20.
Okay.
And the way these NEMT companies are paid is if they bring someone to a doctor's appointment, whatever the case might be, or Costco or wherever they're going, because remember, it's non-emergency medical transportation.
Yeah. It's getting them so they can get groceries, so they can eat. Ooh, scary.
Well, we went to Costco because they have to eat or they'll die.
Yeah, yes.
So that's considered, right? So you
sound skeptical, but yes, that is true.
It's almost impossible to figure out from the outside what exactly the payments are for each of these trips.
Okay.
But I have a pretty good idea.
Oh, but let's hear it. You don't actually know though, but okay.
So when someone provides a transportation to a facility or a location, they're also paid for the time to sit there and wait for the appointment to end.
No, they're not. This is not true. What he's saying almost never exists. The infrastructure for NEMT, they're not going to wait for you unless there's like an extenuating circumstance, or if you're waiting maybe 5 to 15 minutes. You would have to book a new service. So I'm looking into this here. That's how it works in New York. Apparently they will wait up to 30-minute blocks, and then they're going to start charging you more money. But here's the thing. Why does that matter more than anything else? Like, they seem to, like, they might wait, but like, why is it such a bad thing if they pick you up, bring you to your appointment, and then wait for you to get out so they can bring you home? Now, frankly, they probably should have you book another appointment, but this is nice of them. I would say it'd be more economically efficient to have them have to book a second appointment and have to get another person to pick them up. That's how I would change that. Just from a money perspective, it would be cheaper financially, because then you could have the person drop them off and then they can go do whatever else. And then the other person can book a new appointment, especially if it's going to go through Uber Health. And that person can be there in, like, let's say 10 minutes, pick you up, and then you can go. So this here to me is like, oh, that's an inefficiency in the system that should be addressed. They shouldn't be waiting for you to be finished with your appointments, because your appointments can be like very inconsistent. You might be there for an hour. No, I personally have never gone to a fucking appointment. Well, I have. I mean, my primary appointments are usually very quick, but usually you get there and then like you're waiting 15 to 20 minutes just after your appointment already supposed to have started. So to me right here, like, this isn't fraud, but this is an inefficiency in the system that could potentially be changed. Like, hey, you should drop them off and then you should leave. And they should call another ride to get them picked up, because that is more efficient than paying somebody to sit there and do nothing. But even with the way that it is, it's not that big of a deal. So you're going to pay people to sit there and wait. Okay. I'm not like shitting my pants over people getting paid to sit and wait. You know, school bus drivers, if they do an event, so if school bus drivers contracted for an event, like let's say they're contracted for, like there's like a football event or something, like they got to drive the kids to a different stadium or something, or like for a different high school, whatever. The driver gets paid to pick those kids up, drop them off, and he gets paid to sit there and wait 3 or 4 hours until everything's done and then take them home, right? And in that case, you know, it makes sense, because you're never going to be able to get somebody in that instance for the school bus to go pick somebody up and then like leave and go home and then get somebody to do another hour's worth of work at like fucking 10 o'clock at night. It's just not going to happen, right? So I understand it. I'm not really shitting my pants over it. But during the day, especially, nighttime appointments might be different. Yeah, they should be more efficient. That's not... I mean, I'm sure there's fraud here, but that wouldn't be an instance of fraud. Okay.
And then drive the person back. So they're paid 3 different ways. And
well, that's not 3 different ways. It's paid one way. They just have to wait. What are you talking about?
The average is going to be $50 per trip. So it's going to the appointment as a trip, coming back trips. That's $100 per round trip.
I'm sorry, this makes no sense to me. I have to re-listen to that.
And also pay. I have a pretty good idea. So when someone provides a transportation to a facility or a location, they're also paid for the time to sit there and wait for the appointment to end, and then drive the person back. So they're paid 3 different ways.
That wouldn't be 3 different ways. That's one way. You're picking the person up and you're waiting outside. Again, a lot of these places will, like NEMT they will work through Uber Health. So these independent like contractors that are considered like a business, but it's one person like operating out of their house. Like what's an Uber? It's fucking Uber. It's just fucking Uber Health. I guess they pick you up and then they wait for your appointment to end. That's not 3 different ways. That's one trip. What the fuck are you talking about? Also, $50, like, what exactly is the work? Because if you get paid $50 and you pick someone up and you wait for them to be done with their appointment and it's like over like an hour or 2, let's say it's an hour altogether, $50 an hour, that's reasonable because they still have to pay for their gas, the damage to their car. So who cares? Okay. But is the average $50? And then also Uber Health's going to take a cut. And then, you know, that maybe is the biggest issue, that Uber is probably taking a significant cut. I don't know if it's fraud or if it's capitalism in some of these instances.
And the average is going to be $50 per trip. So it's going to the appointment as a trip, coming back trips. That's $100.
No, it's not. Those are all one thing. That's not 2 trips. You literally said that they wait. If they wait, they're still on the clock and it's considered one trip. Your own logic is defeating you.
Per round trip.
I don't know where he's getting $50 from. I don't know. Because I'm looking at this here. Like, let's see, NEMT rates vary significantly by transport type: ambulatory, wheelchair, stretcher, and location, urban and rural. But for the state-administered programs, base rates are like $12 to $14 for a basic ambulatory, and higher for wheelchair/stretcher plus loaded mileage, with rural areas getting a premium. So they would get a premium because it would they want to incentivize you actually doing it, because it's probably not financially worth it without some kind of a premium in order to do that. Oh, wait, he's talking about taking people to Costco, but it says that like NEMT isn't even used for those people. So what the fuck? I don't understand. I mean, like the paratransportation buses we use were able to go to like grocery stores. So these are wait, what is? Hold on a second. They're only supposed to be for medical appointments. Wait, where did he get this grocery store thing from? And why the fuck did I even believe him? You can't use it to go to Costco. Why the fuck is he talking about Costco? Wait, why did I even believe him? Wait, what's his data for that? NEMT is generally not covered for trips to the grocery store. Costco is a grocery store. It's designed for medical appointments. However, there are specific limited exceptions, particularly for individuals on certain waiver programs. So NEMT is intended for trips to doctors, dentists, therapy, or pharmacy visits, not for daily errands. Okay, not cover locations, transportation to non-medical destinations such as grocery, blah, 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 is not reimbursable. Okay. Individuals with home and community-based services, waivers like elderly, may have access to waiver transportation that does include grocery store. Okay, so if you're old, you might be able to go to the grocery store with it. Okay, so some people can. I just feel like we're not getting a very comprehensive breakdown from the David. It was my favorite.
The fraud on live TV. And to dive deep into the fraud, I met back up with the local David, who has been...
I met back up with the local David. He talks like a Tim and Eric sketch. I met back up with the local David. The fucking local David is so insane. The local David. All right. I love it.
Live TV. And to dive deep into the fraud, I met back up with the local David, who has...
Everybody's got a local David. You know what I mean? Because you can't do without him. I think that he should probably get government assistance.
So if you have 800 companies in Minnesota that are NEMT companies,
right?
They all own 20 vehicles.
That's not how it works. They don't all own 20 vehicles. Again, that's a national average. That's not how this works.
And they're all making 10 trips a day, and it's $50 per trip.
Whoa.
So it's 800 times 20 times 10 trips. Times $50 a trip.
I think that's $8 million a day.
Do the math.
Oh my God, that's how much they probably get. So we're at about $3 billion a year, if what he's saying is correct. Now, there's a little bit of a disconnect because I don't see how 10 trips a day for 20 vehicles. I don't know. But anyway, we're at $3 billion. We're at $3 billion, which means now all we have to do is see how much Minnesota's NEMT budget is per year. Right? And look, guys, it's $19.1 billion combined states Medicaid spending. And MEMT is under 1% of that. So it'd be $190 million, roughly. So on a $190 million budget estimated for NEMT, they're spending $3 billion. They're really stretching that money. If anything, I guess I thought Minnesota was full of fraud and that like they've been dealing with it for years. But apparently they're not. Apparently, based on David's estimations, they're actually coming in under mark. Significant. They're doing $3 billion of work a year on $190 million a year. You know what, Tim Walls? I was wrong. You came under budget like a 1/17th. You're like 4%. Like that's incredible. Good job. The local David has exposed Tim Walls for being really good with money, apparently. Incredible. Good job, the local David.
And the reality
has been Best Live TV. And to dive deep into the fraud, I met back up with the local David.
The local David, baby.
Is how many of these trips are being provided? Zero.
What do you mean zero? They're just not doing anything?
They don't have to provide any. Why?
Yes, they do. They work through an app. They get audited. What are you talking about? They work through Uber Health. What are you saying?
Because when they are paid by the state of Minnesota,
okay,
these companies go online and they fill out a form, and
you have to get certifications, and you have to have a CDL. Yes.
It says, okay, how many trips, how many miles. They submit that electronically to the state.
Oh yeah.
And boom, they get paid.
Yeah. So I don't know if you guys know. Again, I used to work for a transportation company that like did stuff like this. It's not that simple. The government audits you constantly. So for the smaller businesses, they get audited through Uber Health. Uber Health sets up their rides, so they're going to audit Uber Health. And I don't know if you know this, but like let's say somebody needs to get to the doctor and they set up a ride. Hey, I need a ride to the doctor. They probably use an app and not use the phone, but whatever. I wonder, just a quick question. What do you think happens if the person doesn't get to their appointment? What happens if the person who is qualified to get these appointments, because you have to meet certain parameters, what happens if that person doesn't get their appointment? Do you think they just go, I guess I'm not going to the doctor today? Or do you think that they complain? I'm not saying that there aren't instances of fraud in this system, but you just literally said it was like none of the rides were happening. They are happening. People utilize these services to get to and from the doctor's offices, and in some limited instances, grocery stores, if they qualify additionally. So you're saying none of it's like getting done, but you don't know that. You have no idea. You truly don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You're just saying everything is fraud. But okay.
Nobody bothers to check. They don't call the dentist. Did this kid show up? They don't do anything.
They don't need to call the fucking dentist. The dentist doesn't give a shit if you show up for your appointment. But the person who didn't get their appointment is going to be pissed off, and they're going to care.
As soon as that form is filed with the state of Minnesota, that payment goes out immediately.
And so essentially,
why do you think that is the question? Like, where are you getting that information from?
These transportation companies are what hold all of the fraud together, because you have the daycare centers working with the transportation companies, the adult daycare centers working with the transportation companies, the healthcare companies working with the transportation companies. So it's just another way to bill and to also make it look like something's happening here inside of Minnesota.
You're telling me that Minnesota with 5.8 million people, you don't think a single person is utilizing these rideshare companies, utilizing these NEMT services? That's your argument. Your argument is that there are 5.6 million people. 5.6 million people, and not a single one of them is trying to use this service to get to the doctor. Okay. The party of common sense lacks it. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know how to parse through this information with you if you actually think this. Uber Health operates more as a dispatch service. The medical center books the rides, not that important. Yes, I understand that. That's what I'm saying. They act as a dispatch service. They're being held to task, though. They will be the ones that are audited. If they book a service and the person doesn't show up, then there's going to be a problem. Like, that's the point that I'm making. Yes, that's the whole point.
This is the belly of the beast.
The belly of the beast.
All of this fraud revolves around these transportation companies. All of it.
Yeah, that's crazy. Why are they wearing outside jackets? Like, they're indoors. Why would they need the jacket still? Also, why are you guys in a hotel? Were you guys bang broing?
This touches every part of fraud here in Minnesota.
Wow.
And today we're going to go confront these people. We confronted them.
Let's go.
And last time
we confronted them at the Minnesota's Child Care Center.
No kids in any of the child care centers.
Yeah. Well, we didn't. Well, actually, we don't know that because you didn't show up when the facilities opened. You just decided there weren't any kids because they wouldn't let you leer at the children. I wonder why they wouldn't let a random grown man go and try to stare at kids in daycare. Who knows?
And today, what do you expect to see?
I think we're going to see some vehicles because, when I drive around the
You are going to see some vehicles? Oh, is it all conspiracy to trick you, David?
cities here, I see these Somalis driving. Mostly it's like a Plymouth Caravan or whatever.
Okay.
And there's never, ever, ever been a passenger. And in 7 years...
That's crazy. So they use the same B-roll footage as they did in the last... in the last one. Those images were in the first video as well. They didn't even go for any more B-roll footage. They have 2 instances of somebody driving a vehicle without somebody in it, which means they could just be on their way somewhere. You guys ready? This is the first one. This is the first video. It's on 4x speed, but like, look. Watch. Same fucking thing. Got the same fucking B-roll footage. He's like, there's so many people driving around in empty vehicles. And so I've used...
And there's
the same B-roll footage in both instances of the same guy in the same car. Because it's happening so much that I need to use the same fucking video twice. That's all he's got. He's got... We really got to make this B-roll footage work for us because we found one maybe Somalian guy in a fucking vehicle, and we got to use it every time we bring it up because there's so many instances of empty NEMT transportation vehicles. But we can only use this one guy. We can only use this one guy. This is the only one we really got. This is 2 different videos. They use the same B-roll footage to prove that there's a bunch of empty Somali vehicles driving around. Like, do you understand how fucking dog shit? Even if there is, and there, by the way, there is fraud in general in Minnesota. It's been investigated for a long time. But like, this guy does nothing. Like, he doesn't do anything. It's just a dude in a van that's getting filmed, and he's awkward, and he might be on the way to pick somebody up, or maybe it's fraud. But you're making a claim that there's so much fraud that you find out an instance of one guy. That's crazy.
Ever been a passenger, and in 7 years I've never seen a passenger in any of these vehicles.
That's crazy. Why didn't you try to register to be an NEMT worker and see if the companies were legit? Like, this is one of those things is where every time I've seen somebody try to do some kind of investigation, they try to infiltrate the operation, and yet that hasn't happened. Nick Shirley hasn't called the daycare numbers to see if he can register his fake kid. David hasn't tried to become an NEMT worker to see if it's legit from the inside out. He's just some retired guy that stays home and like obsesses about conspiracy theories. It just makes no sense to me. Why wouldn't you try to become an NEMT driver and try to figure out and see if it's like legitimate or not? I don't understand. Or maybe they wouldn't let you because you're not black. Then that would be racism to white people. But we don't know because David didn't try to do anything. He didn't do any or maybe he did and he's just not going to tell us because it yielded nothing.
I've followed some of them. They're going to Costco. They're going to Sam's Club. They're going.
You're following them?
Going to Walmart. The driver gets out, goes in there, loads up a shopping cart, comes in, puts it in the van, and off they go back to where they live.
That's crazy. So I just want to be absolutely clear. 1, he has no video proof of any of this. For 7 years, he's been following these vans to Costco and whatever grocery store, and then following them home. That's what he just said. But he doesn't have a single video of this happening. So that's interesting. Number 2, people are using these are minivans that people are getting licensed to use, and then they'll work through Uber Health. Like, you understand this, right? They'll work through Uber Health, and so maybe they're on off hours using the van that is still their personal vehicle to go to Costco for themselves and then to go home with groceries. I don't know. None of this makes any sense to me. Can you show us a video of you doing any of these things? None of this makes any sense to me, but okay.
And now we're going to go out and see what's happening with these transportation companies.
And here's the other thing. Tim Walz and the Department of Human Service, you threw the people of Minnesota under the bus. Shame on you, and I'm coming for you.
You heard it here first, David.
Wow, he feels like a real superhero.
All right, let's go. So where's the first location we're going to?
The first location is a company called Safari Transportation.
Wow.
Cedar
What is this? Guys, they didn't even spell Safari right. Where is the address?
Avenue South in Minneapolis.
Wow. I bet that it is actually at 607. And that anybody who questions that's probably a fucking idiot, right? Am I right, guys? Okay.
Transportation, Cedar Avenue South in Minneapolis.
And so what makes Safari Transportation Company an interesting transportation company?
I still can't believe they spelled Safari wrong.
Well,
allegedly fraudulent.
Well,
okay. Well, you seemed mostly confident. Why is it alleged?
The thing about Safari is that they've been registered since 2015 with the state of Minnesota.
So true, King. 2015. So true.
As operating vehicles. And again, the national average for a non-emergency medical transportation company is 20 vehicles. So if they've got 20 vehicles and they're at 607 Cedar Avenue, I have no idea where there's parking them because there is no parking anywhere near this office.
It's crazy. It's probably fraudulent.
We've arrived to the transportation company. We're outside, and right there.
Whoa, there we go.
There, we have a Loving Arms adult daycare. All the windows are completely boarded out right there.
Okay, so maybe it closed, I guess. Or maybe BLM people threw rocks through it and shit.
And there's supposed to be a transportation company registered right here. It's 617, but it's a liquor store.
Oh, shit. We exposed the fraud.
The location here is 607.
Oh, fuck. Here it is. All right, cool. We got everything down pat. And they actually made a response, the Safari company. So Safari actually made their own response here. So I'm going to read it. I think it's reasonable. Well, this is the wrong one here. Let me see. Oh, geez, I have so many fucking things. Okay, here we go. So this is their response here. So, Safari Transportation LLC is aware of a recent online video that incorrectly associated our company with the fraudulent transportation operations. We want to provide our customers, partners, and community with the facts. The facts. Safari Transportation LLC has been a licensed and insured student transportation provider since 2015. We exclusively serve charter schools and private schools, providing safe, reliable transportation for students. We have never provided transportation services to daycare centers, medical transportation, or non-emergency transport. I think they meant NEMT, but I could be wrong. Non-emergency transportation, and we have no connection whatsoever to the fraudulent activities described in the video. Our company maintained an office at the address mentioned on the video from October 2015 through October 2018. We relocated to another location since, and now to our current one at 750 whatever. This is the new address here, which I have here. This is where they are at now. And so, the office is somewhere around here. They might honestly just also rent out the lot. It actually might be this right here. It's a lot. It's only about 25 buses. I think they have 20 active buses and then 5 non-active buses. And so they might just rent out a lot. This is also a picture from Google 2024, right? So this is the location that they are registered to, though, as of right now. Although it probably would have helped their case if there was a fucking school bus here. But you know what? Give them the benefit of the doubt there. I mean, it's probably because it's the middle of the day, and it's probably because it's the middle of the day, I would imagine. This is from 2002. So all the school buses are out servicing the area, but it does look kind of weird that they don't have a fucking school bus here whatsoever. That's actually a good point. It's probably just an office. It's probably just an office in this area. This wouldn't be the bus slot. This is the office slot. I don't know why I'm talking about buses. Yeah, so this would be the office slot, not necessarily the bus slot. This is where they file from. And they used to be at the Ormoro fucking Resource Center, which is now relocated. But if you look it up right here, you see that it shows where they are here. If I click on this is where Nick Shirley shows up to, right? And so this is where it used to be. It's closed, and they just haven't removed it from the Google Maps website yet. So that's an issue there as well. But it used to be there before it was relocated, and that used to have different business centers or it was a business center where different places were attributed to. So that would be why there would be some kind of an inconsistency there. for this entire situation. And you can even see that the way they filed down here is that, like, right after Shirley's video came out, they re-registered their on this website specifically where they were located. I don't know how. This is the office of the Minnesota Secretary of State. I don't know how necessary this is to maintain it being updated in order to get your actual mail. Probably not super infrastructure reliable. It's probably not a website that necessarily matters as much, but it should have been updated sooner. But I don't really see any reason to think that there's actual fraudulent. 1 star, yeah. It had 1 star. That's true. That is true here. Hey, Asian kids. So yeah, I don't really know where their yard is out of. It would be good to see that. One of the things, though, is that one of the things to keep in mind here is that different areas. So again, I used to work for a bus company. There's nothing against the law parking an entire school bus outside of your house. It would have to do with the potential HOA there or local restrictions. And so some people, even like where I used to work for, they would take their buses home and they would park them outside. It was usually the smaller buses because, you know, where I live doesn't exactly have great parking for bigger buses, but they may not even necessarily have a lot. They might have people taking the buses home. I'm not even kidding. This is like a real thing, just to be absolutely clear. I wonder where this is registered to. Oh, this is a literal postal service. Okay, no shit. So that might be why. But I am curious where they have their actual if they do, or where it would be their actual school bus facility. You guys like that? Like the little bit of rhyming that we did there. So yeah.
7 and also 617.
6-7.
These are 2 transportation companies. We're all on a main road right now, and this is 607. Dang. And it is not a transportation company. It's actually a money transfer, but it's registered here. 607. This does not look like Safari Transportation. Where is the transportation company?
I don't see any signs denoting that there's any transportation. It's all just looks like money wiring.
That's fucked up, dude. The real thing I'm curious about is, like, was there a way for him to figure this out before going there and accusing this place of being fraudulent? That's one of the things that makes me go like, that's weird. Like, for instance, would there be a way to just, like, call the guy potentially and be like, hey, what's going on with this? Hey, what's your answer? Right? Because I'm not like, apparently they had not updated the thing, which might be true, or maybe it's not. Maybe it's fraud. But my thing is like, why wouldn't you try to get in contact with the person that supposedly owns this place? Like, this is the website for Safari Transportation. You could go to contact. They have their phone number listed right here. You know, this is all public information. You can send in an email form. So my thing is like, usually when I see people do investigation work, they will try to get both sides information. So Nick shows up, he accuses this place of being fraudulent, which it might be, right? It might be. But so far, what they put up on the website was like, hey, listen, that's where we used to be registered to. We changed locations and we forgot to update that specific website that Nick Shirley used. We're not part of whatever fraud's going on there. Maybe that's true. Maybe it's not true. I don't really know, right? But why didn't Nick call them to get their statement? And this is one of the problems, is that like there's like a pattern that we see of this guy not doing basic stuff that you would do as an investigative journalist, right? Like, he's claiming all these different places are full of fraud, but he doesn't wait to see if anybody shows up, right? Like, wouldn't you wait for opening hours and then be like, let's see if anybody shows up? No, he's not doing that. Or there's phone numbers all over every business. He hasn't called a single company. He hasn't called a single phone number and shown us him calling them to see what's going on. Not a single time. Why wouldn't you do this complete information? Again, we know there's fraud here, but like, you're supposed to be uncovering the fraud, and yet the Leering Center, you got grilled by Andrew Callahan because he asked you the basic question: if this is a fraudulent place, then how come they have so many violations? One of which being not enough staff for the kids, which means that an auditor showed up and they found that there were kids there, and he just kind of yapped around. Like, he couldn't come up with the excuse, right, and any argument. And it just seems like every second of the day, Nick fails at doing like basic investigative research. It's okay.
But if you look at the Secretary of State's office, state of Minnesota, Safari Transportation, 607 Cedar Avenue.
6-7.
And it's been registered here since 2015. That was the original filing.
So let's see if we have the manager. Let's see if we can find Fod. Hello.
This is so stupid.
How are you? We're looking for the transportation company.
Safari Transportation?
Looking for Safari Transportation.
Wow.
No, there's no Safari Transportation.
No Safari Transportation.
They found fraud, guys.
Safari Transportation, 607 Cedar Avenue.
We're just looking for Safari Transportation.
We don't know.
So, but this is registered for Safari Transportation,
know.
607.
That's the address.
Okay, we don't know.
We're asking where Safari Transportation is.
We don't know.
Sounds like you're just harassing these guys that don't know.
Did you
Okay,
know
so the
Fuad
business is
Omar?
not here.
Don't record.
Fuad Omar?
Fuad Omar,
We don't know. This, do you see this? What is this?
money transferring.
That's it.
Why are you still there? If he said he doesn't know, why don't you leave?
Okay,
Well, this
registered.
is from the state.
This is fraud taking place. This is supposed to say, this is for Safari
find out.
Transportation.
Go find out.
Yeah, we did find out. This is fraud, right?
Bro, this kid is so dumb. I just like he could have called. He literally just could have called the office and he could have tried to figure out at least their side of the story. Like if he had just called, then they could have been like, "Yeah, we have an office here," and then he could have just showed up to the right place. But he didn't want to do the basic research. Okay.
Right here.
Registered here
This is
since
registered.
2015.
2015?
Safari Transportation, state of Minnesota.
2015, wow. Oh, yeah.
Well, but it's registered now. This is current, just off the state of Minnesota website today.
Sir.
Please.
This is from today. I just printed this off today. Fuad Omar.
Go check it out.
We're here. This is 607. Where's Safari Transportation?
Okay, it's no Safari.
This is actually like a really weird scene because right now they're in some random clothing store because this resource center shut down like years ago and they just forgot to the Safari business just forgot to update it. Nick would have known that if he just called the contact information that's on the Safari website, right? Like it's very easy to find. Like you literally just have to go here. It's on the website. But he's standing in here with like the local David, of course, and he's grilling these guys with two people in like fucking masks next to him.
Omar.
Go check it out.
We're here. This is
Like he's got two fucking security guards in masks, and he refuses to leave. He refuses to leave. It's fucking strange behavior. Like this is kind of like I would call the police. Like this is an intimidation scheme right now. I think that we have to understand this, right? And they feel justified in it, in the same way that I might have felt justified in the crash out. That was completely unjustifiable. And so they're like, "Oh, I'm exposing fraud, so I'm allowed to harass local business owners and not do my due diligence and call like phone numbers or anything like that."
607. Where's Safari Transportation?
Okay, it's no Safari, period.
Okay, so it's a fraudulent business.
Did you see Safari anything here?
Exactly.
Did you see?
Exactly. It's
Did
not
you
here.
see it?
It's a fraud.
Did you see, sir?
Okay, thank you. We're going to go to the next
Okay.
address. All right, let's keep moving on. So 607, this is supposed to be Safari Transportation, no transportation company. And now we're going to 617, another transportation company. However, it
Which was all like a resource center. Again, it was just revised.
is actually Cedar Riverside Liquor. Where is the transportation company?
And clearly fraud, am I right?
17.
617 right
Dreamline
here.
Transportation for the state of Minnesota is registered to 617 Cedar
6-7.
Avenue South.
6-7.
And it's a liquor store.
Yeah, I would be hostile too.
David, they aren't even trying to hide that these are transportation companies. Where are the vans at?
Should we ask?
Well, not for nothing, but again, there wouldn't be vans here even if this was the company, because this used to be like a resource center where like a business center basically, where multiple businesses could like do their they can do their office lines out of. It wasn't like this massive facility, right? Like so at the bus company I used to work at, the school bus yards didn't necessarily have all the buildings there, especially when you first started. Like I remember seeing pictures and you had like a small little building which was for the mechanics, and then you have this like a yard full of a few different buses, right? You have like a property, and then in another area you would have like your dispatch center. And so like you're confusing an office with like a dispatch center, if that makes sense, right? There's like an office area, excuse me, you're confusing your office and your dispatch center might be like the same thing, and then you would have like a school bus lot, right? So you're confusing like your like dispatch center / office, potentially both, or maybe they had like a separate thing, with the actual place that they keep the buses. Like, it's not all necessarily in the same spot. Like, you have to understand this. You know, like, like it's not all necessarily in the exact same spot at all.
Let's go ask.
But again, they didn't call and ask any questions. He could have called and asked, like, hey, how come there's no buses here? Oh, well, we let the people take them home. Again, this is something that can happen. It's not illegal to take a school bus home and park it in front of your house. It just depends on, like, it could be a problem for the local town. Then they might have an ordinance against it. But it's not illegal to do that. And they might be relying on that so they don't have to buy a bus yard. I don't know, because you didn't call these people at all.
Hey, we're looking for Dreamline Transportation.
Whoa.
Now we're in 617, Dreamline Transportation.
No.
Where is the transportation company?
No, we don't have this.
You ever heard of Safari Transportation?
Safari, I know Safari, that money wiring, 607.
The money wiring?
Yeah.
Okay, that's money wiring.
Yeah.
We're looking for Safari Transportation.
Safari is a very unique name. Nobody would have the same name twice. Also, the Safari is spelled differently.
607.
They said they never heard of it.
I never did. Safari company, the money wiring, they send money there. That's the 607.
So Safari gets the
Interesting way to lay out the store.
money and then they wire it out.
Yeah, the money.
It was a money wiring company. So yes, that's how they would do that business.
That man just said that Safari is actually a money wiring company, so therefore they're receiving money and then wiring it somewhere.
You never heard of, like, Western Mutual or whatever the fuck it's called? Or what is it? Is it Western Mutual? You know what I'm talking about. It's just a money wiring company.
Underneath the name of a transportation company.
But that's not true, right? Because they spell it differently, and there's a literal website. Why didn't you just... This website existed far before anything. What the fuck? What is he talking about? You could have just looked this up. What? You could have just looked all of this up. You could have held them to task on anything. They have an Instagram too. They have a fucking Instagram. I don't even know what the fuck this is. What is this? This is a different service. This looks like an agent, like an advertisement agency service. I have no idea what this is. Oh, okay. So the person that they bought the website, that they bought to make the website, decided to embed their Instagram links. That's annoying for them. So they don't have an Instagram, but they have an email. They have a phone numbers. You could just look. You could literally have just asked them, bud. You could have just called them.
It said to go here.
Suite A right here.
Western Union. That's what I'm thinking of.
And then you have 617A right here, but this is reliable services, immigration, travel, and tax.
Wow, that's scary.
I do not see a transportation company anywhere.
Why would there be a transportation company in there?
Hey, we're hoping to find Dreamline Transportation. You ever heard of it?
I've never heard of it.
Dreamline I guess they're looking for a different business now. So I Googled this. I just Googled Dreamline Transportation Services LLC, the exact same thing here. Oh, I guess I just said LLC instead of limited liable company, but whatever. The first thing I get is a .gov website. This is what comes up. It has their physical address and then their mailing address, right? Here. So this is not the same thing that they're looking through. But this is a .gov website. This isn't just some whatever. I don't know what other website that it was that they were using, but this is a .gov website. Why not look this up? Why not look this up instead? Wouldn't that make more sense to do? It says they have 20 trucks, they have 20 drivers. They have 20 drivers here. Passengers. I mean, we're looking through this whole thing. So why not look this up instead? Like, wouldn't this make more sense? And then this is the website for Safari. And it actually has the correct information listed here. They have 10 drivers, apparently. And this is like their infrastructure. And this is where they're rooted out of. They have their mailing address and their physical address right here. So why not look this stuff up? Like, I don't understand. Like, why wouldn't you? Like, I feel like, yeah, let's not use MapQuest. Why not utilize these instead? Why go in the direction that you're using? That seems so ignorant. Because this is an actual .gov website. The other one that he gave, I don't think it was a .gov website at all. I don't know why they keep cutting off the top here. That's another thing that keeps bothering me. This is like the one thing that bothers me. He shows pictures like this 3 times, but then like only 1 time does he say where he gets it from. And I just want to see, like, is this a .gov website? Like, does this need to be? It is a .gov website. Does this need to be updated consistently? Like or does the DOT website need to be updated consistently? And it's so funny because I'm looking at this and there's something sketchy about this Dreamline situation to me. I'm not, and again, they have all their phone numbers listed on these websites, but there is something a little sketchy about this Dreamline Transportation Company. If I look up the physical address, it comes up with somebody's fucking house. I want to make sure that I've got the right place, right? So if I look up this one, this is the Safari service. This seems like legit. This seems to be some kind of a yard with a mechanic there. They probably have their buses here in some capacity. Whatever. I could see that. This seems like an appropriate place to put a bus. It might be around the corner. I don't really know. I don't know the specifics, but I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. This one I look into, and there's nothing here. So maybe this is just their mailing address shot out of this. I don't know. Maybe that's what it is, but I don't really... This is something that would be sketchy. If I was Nick Shirley, I would call these people, and not these people, I would specifically call the whatever's listed on the DOT website. That would make more sense to me. I mean, it's possible that this is just their mailing address and they just have them shot from their house. That's totally possible. It's also possible that there's fraud. The problem is that, like, he's just making speculations about it. He's just like, oh, look, it's not where I think it should belong, so it's not real. Why not call them? Why not ask to see their physical bus yard? Why not do any of those things? It just makes no fucking sense.
Ask next door. He said to ask here.
Yeah, DOT needs to be updated. Yes, exactly. That's a good point. Yes. Probably not every company has to have 20 vehicles. Well, okay, that's not my point. If you have 20 school buses, the point I'm making is that there's skepticism, but like you would call to verify this information. So what you would look up to figure this out, and I couldn't expect Nick Shirley with $1 million operation to figure this out, is you would look up the company plus DOT, Department of Transportation. Right? All you really need to do is look up the name of the company with DOT next to it, and it'll bring you up to the DOT website. I guess Mr. Shirley doesn't need to do that. Yeah, you just have to look up the name of the company plus DOT, and it gives you all the information that you need. Why didn't he just do that? Oh, this is a different one. Oh, wait, did I have the wrong place? This is so confusing. This is Dreamline Transportation LLC. What did I have before on the screen? Because this one says it just has one driver. So this might just be one guy. Like the Safari, like what did I look up before? All right, so I was on. The other one was Indiana. I looked up the wrong one. Sorry, that was my bad. I forgot to put like the name of the actual. You should probably put the state there as well. The point that I'm making is that you can look up the name. You should be able to look it up. And you could find this information if you put the name of the company, the state that it's in, and then you put in the DOT, like DOT website. You'd be able to find this information, which we found pretty easily. They have, like, everything has to be publicly available. I don't understand why he didn't do this, but okay. All right.
Ask here that you would know.
Ask next door. This is a mailbox. It's not a real call.
So, Dreamline Transportation could be nothing more than a mailbox. 834.
So it could be one of these mailboxes. Well,
okay, see you later.
607.
67.
Safari Transportation doesn't exist. It's actually a money wiring business.
That's
617 Dreamline. Inside of there, it's actually a liquor store, and then 617A is a place where there's a bunch of mailboxes, and it says reliable.
Crazy. Well, that one wasn't listed on the website you said.
ITT services.
Listen, man, here's the thing. Let me just reiterate the issue that I have here. The biggest issue is that this guy didn't call any numbers. There's a Safari website. He could have looked up the Safari website. It's right here. He could have looked this Safari website up. He could have tried to call somebody. There's numbers all over here. He didn't do that to get their side of the story. That's what somebody that would do journalism would actually do. He also doesn't look up the name of the company on the DOT website, right? Now, I would expect an investigative journalist to simply do that, to look it up, okay? You just have to put the name of the company in there, Safari Transportation LLC, Minnesota, DOT, because they are Department of Transportation, has to have all this registered. And then you click on the first thing that comes up, and it gives you all this information with the updated physical address, with the updated mailing address, right? Annoyingly enough, this is the other Safari transportation with one A. This is so fucking annoying and confusing, but it's so weird. What is this? There's so many things registered as Safari transportation in Minnesota. It's so annoying. But if you go to that website, you could look up you could look it up by name, and you could look up like SA you could look it up. Hold on a second. Anyway, it's on the DOT website. You could look up the name on the DOT website. And look, it gives you all this updated information. You just have to go to the DOT website. It's the same thing for this Dreamline place. You click on here, you go to the DOT website, you can put the name in there. It gives you all the information that you want. It gives you the number of drivers, it gives you the mailing address, the physical addresses. It gives you everything that you want. It gives you everything that you would want, and then you could call numbers off of this to see if this stuff is legit. I don't know why you wouldn't go to the DOT website, and instead you're referencing like some governor website. You're referencing this place, which I get it. It makes sense. This is the Safari one right here, right? I guess it makes sense to utilize this. I mean, you find this information, but I just don't know why you wouldn't try to call these people. It's just so strange to me. Like, why wouldn't you try to call them? You have the name of the thing. You have like all this. I mean, this is updated information now, but there's a number here. That's not a phone number. That's a fucking address. I'm stupid. Anyway, but you can Google the place of business and you can call their number. That's the point that I'm trying to make. Like, I don't understand why you didn't do any calling. Why didn't you try to find these people? Why wouldn't you try to do your due diligence and try to find where these people are? That part, it seems very intentional. There's so many different things that you could have done, especially since you had the local David. So, yeah, Shirley's the goat of journalism. He doesn't need this info. True. You're right.
How you doing, man?
I just want to ask you.
Yes, sir.
Why are you sensationalizing the propaganda?
Sound like you almost said the Papa Gut.
What are we sensationalizing?
To attack our community. What's your final objective?
We're not attacking.
Well, he is. I mean, again, Nick Shirley thinks that all Somalians are pirates. Just go watch the Andrew Callahan video or my coverage on it. He says it.
Our community by any means.
Are you making good money from this?
We're looking for fraud. No, for instance,
only 2 cameras on that phone, bro. Poor.
Answer our question. Where's Safari Transportation Company 607? It's not.
Why would he know?
Not there. And why don't you answer?
How much money are
why don't you answer the question? Where's 617 Dreamline Security?
67.
How much money are you making?
I make money off of YouTube. That's how I make my money.
Exactly. So you're making money off of.
What about Twitter, dude? Do you make any money off Twitter?
That my job
and attacking
is
the Somali community.
I'm not attacking.
With the mask guys, he has a bunch of like people, like he has like bodyguards.
You guys were asking.
I'll tell you the
fraud
reason
is fraud,
why this is happening.
sir.
All right, let me tell you the reason why.
Fraud is fraud, correct?
Yes.
Has nothing to do with race. This is fraud.
This
fraud.
Absolutely has to do with us being Muslim.
No, it doesn't.
Oh yes, it does. Nick said it was about them being Muslim as well. Again, watch the Andrew Callahan video. He brings up the fact that they're Muslim. He doesn't like black Muslim people. He's afraid of them.
All right, and us being from Africa. This is a constitutional argument. If you don't want us here, change the freedom of religion. Say, listen, we don't want Muslims in this country anymore.
We're not saying that.
No.
He is saying that.
We're not saying.
He is saying that. We'll start with the first one. We'll start with the first one here. Here we go.
You need to call things out for facts. And you shouldn't be afraid to say when I ask you, what are Somalians known for? You're afraid of your viewers watching this video calling you a racist or Islamophobe.
No, to clarify.
You knew that word, Andrew. You knew you were saying pirate. You knew in your mind.
Well,
you're
asking
pirate.
me to think in a stereotypical mind. What do I think comes?
What's the first stereotype? Say it though.
You're asking me what's the first stereotype that comes to mind when I think about Somalia.
I said what?
So just because you know Somalians for being pirates doesn't mean that they are all pirates. That's the point that we're making. It's the same thing with like Italians. If you know Italians for being just because we know Italians, have a mafia, doesn't mean that all of them are known for the mafia. It's a stereotype. Not all like Somalian people are not inherently pirates. You would probably be a victim of circumstance when it comes to that. Okay.
What are they known for?
They are known by Americans who don't know Somalis.
And what are they known across the West for?
See, he keeps reinforcing the stereotype. He doesn't want to leave room for nuance because I think that he only has a third of his brain. Here's the other beautiful part from the Andrew Callahan video.
Barely even speak English. Yet.
He can't speak English.
Then you also have another issue with it is these people are Muslim.
Bro, he self-reported so hard. He self-reported so hard.
Muslims are able to have 4 wives.
He's Mormon, by the way. Just letting you know. He admits that in this video. So what is the issue?
And inside of these daycares, who's all working inside the daycare? Women.
Whoa. Women are working in the daycare. So this is what it's all about. He's afraid of black Muslim Somalian people that he thinks are pirates. The Mormon is afraid of the religion with multiple wives. Let me just hot take. All of the religions maybe aren't great. I love God, but I think that organized religion is obviously dog shit. But hey, listen. Good job, Nick. That's not what it's about. Give me a fucking break, bud.
When I go
Sir,
onto
we're
your
talking
comments,
about fraud. When
I go onto your comments,
my comments.
What I see is people that say we do not want Muslims here. Kick every single Muslim in Minnesota out of Minnesota.
That's a comment.
You are
That is what you're saying. That's what you want to say.
Preparing for the Somali community to maybe be taken to concentration camps, just like the Japanese community. All right, you're sensationalizing.
No, we're not.
All right,
Sir,
something that can.
I mean, ICE is on the street right now going after people because they don't speak perfect English and they're not white. Like literally, while an accent alone isn't legally sufficient for probable cause, recent Supreme Court rulings suggest federal immigration agents can consider factors like speaking Spanish, having an accent, or being in certain locations like outside Home Depot, alongside other elements to establish suspicions for stops, right? It applies to Somalians too. It's not crazy for him to say stuff like that. ICE is being utilized right now as a task force to distract people from real problems. Legal immigration is not good, but like they're going on the street and they're stopping people because they're fucking brown and speak Spanish, and they're violating any meaningful due process. They're just going after people with reckless abandon and part of it's because Nick Shirley's shit video. We know there's fraud, but you know, we knew that before he got there, and his videos are riddled with horrible dog shit. He can't even call these places of business to see if they're legit. He refuses to do what a basic journalist would do. Call the daycares, see what's going on. Call these business centers, call Safari Transportation, call the Dream Transportation. Why? These numbers are listed on the DOT website. Why do you think he's not doing these things? Right? And this is being used as a justification for the Trump administration to go after Minnesota as a distraction to the fact that Trump's probably a pedophile. I don't know what else to tell you, but like the Epstein shit, we're still not getting anywhere. This is the newest distraction. It was signal boosted literally the day that Trump was supposed to release everything, and it's flooded the information airway to justify to go after these people. Minnesota that was already dealing with their fraud. They had 60 people had convictions, 90 people were charged. Okay.
Question: Where is the transportation vehicle company?
Jeopardize
answer the question.
The safety and the protection of the Somali community.
We're talking about fraud.
Anything happens to the Somali
community. We're talking about fraud.
I'm not doing anything. I'm not physically touching.
You're getting very close.
I'm not physically touching. No, I'm not physically.
You're getting very close. These guys are nerds. Why the fuck would you hire this protection company?
This is fraud. We're talking about.
Gotta get Jack Doherty's guy.
Fraud. You're defending fraud. You're defending fraud. You're defending fraud.
People who hate Muslims want us out of here.
People can say what they want.
Muslim,
I'm not censoring anybody.
Are using your material. Islamophobe.
Well, that's not what he's saying. What he's saying is that the people that you're attracting are people who hate Muslim people, and that is a fact. Yes.
Use your material. People who hate Islam, use your material. Say to us, we don't want.
These guys are terrible. Too close. Too close. These guys are losers. They're such weirdos. It's so funny. Like these guys, like they should have backed him up sooner. But listen, you can say what you want, but you have to be back here. They're like, let him. He could have fucking hit Nick Shirley, and it's like taking him like 30 seconds to actually do what their fucking jobs are. These people are what a worthless fucking company. Holy shit. They are actually a fucking worthless company. Never like, why would you go with this security company? They suck.
You here?
Okay. You're gonna get hit. If you're gonna get fucking hit, bro. If you hire these guys, someone's gonna hit you because they're fucking terrible.
Change the Constitution. Okay, but guess what? Let me tell you something. Guess what?
Say it. We're asking about fraud. We're asking about fraud.
You hate Muslims.
Fraud. I'm not saying I hate Muslims.
We know he does already. I just showed you.
We're talking about fraud.
Muslims.
We're talking about fraud.
Why are you attacking us?
This
are we
is
the
fraud.
only community that suffers because of fraud?
We're talking about fraud.
Are we the only community that does fraud? Are we the only community?
No, they're not. I'm telling you again, the Italian community is huge on fraud back in the day with the mafia. And it's not all Italians in any capacity. I'm not saying that. But like they did it too. But this is the problem. It's like right now, this is the group to hate. It doesn't matter if you're doing fraud. It matters what the color of your skin is when you're doing fraud. That's it. And most of these community members are not doing fraud. It's like a very small percentage.
community that does this?
This is about fraud.
All right, there's what, 300 Somali providers in all of Minnesota?
There's actually 800.
Don't touch me.
How do you know that? What information do you have that says that there's 800 Somali providers? Based on what information? Where's your facts? You never showed that.
So,
you speak English?
transportation companies.
Your security doesn't even speak English. Listen, let me tell you something.
See, this isn't a race issue, sir.
Let me
this
tell
is
you
about
something.
fraud.
We have, what, 1,000 providers?
Yeah, you guys have a...
Even it's 2,000 providers.
Okay,
you
sir.
want to sacrifice the safety of
Sir,
80,000 people
we're not
because of fucking 2,000 providers? Are you fucking mad? Are you stupid?
I'm not stupid. You're stupid.
You're
Where's the transportation company?
What about
The pronounced benevolent?
the mass
Listen.
shooting happens in Minnesota? It will be because of you. It will be because of you. If any Somali gets hurt in Minnesota, it's because of Nick fucking Shirley.
This is about
if
fraud.
one single Somali gets hurt,
This is about fraud,
it's because
sir.
of you. Sensationalizes. You son of a bitch. Sensationalizes.
Dude, these security officers suck.
Wow, you're very
Out
nice.
of our neighborhood.
Very nice.
You're very nice. I hate Muslims. You don't like Muslim people. I don't like Muslims because they can have 4 wives. By the way, I'm Mormon. Like, that's your whole take, but...
Out of our
Sir,
neighborhood.
can you tell me where the transportation
Get the out of
company
our neighborhood. We don't
Sir.
want you here. Get the out of here.
This is like one of those instances of like, it's like fucking like, I don't know, like nice bullying, we could call it like that. I'm just going around and hyper focusing on Somali immigrants and lying constantly about how the fraud is happening here. It is happening, but like he's lying about the way that it's happening. But I'm a nice guy. You're yelling, so you're mean. It's like, okay, what are you, a baby? Jingling keys?
Calm down, sir.
Get the out of here.
Sir, this is
You
about
wanted
fraud.
sensationalize? You wanted clicks?
You're
You got clicks.
sensationalizing yourself,
You
sir.
wanted clicks?
You're
You
sensationalizing
got
yourself.
What is that word that you're saying? What word are you saying?
Clicks?
You're
You got clicks.
sensationalizing yourself,
Okay.
You
sir.
wanted clicks?
You're sensationalizing
You're
yourself.
sensationalizing? Damn. You get kicked in the head or something?
You wanted clicks? You wanted the YouTube?
Tell me where the
The local David, what's going on?
You
transportation
wanted
vehicle
YouTube
is.
clicks? You got YouTube clicks. Now get the out of our community.
Tell me where the
Get the
transportation
out of our
company is.
community.
You would know that if you just looked at their website or you called them and saw where the transportation company is. You could have done that, Nick.
Tell me where the... This is about fraud.
Fatty chill.
This is,
Say I don't want
this is
Muslims
about
here.
fraud.
Say I don't want Muslims
Fatty
here.
chill.
Say it.
Right? They're good,
I
right?
want to change the Constitution.
No, I don't
and
want to change the
freedom of
Constitution.
religion, and I don't want Muslim Somalis in Minnesota. Kick them out. I was born in this country. You have to take the passport away from me. That is what you are
Sir,
arguing for.
we're not talking...
Change the Constitution.
This is about fraud.
Appreciate it.
Get the fuck out of our community.
This is about fraud.
Get the fuck out of our community. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Stupid fucking idiot.
Tell me where the transportation company is then.
Get the fuck out of here.
Obviously, for this video, we had to get security because look at this now. All right, we're going. We're going.
You have to go from here. I'm telling you.
But
It's really fucked up that this Somali guy is yelling at Nick because it's like, dude, you're really going to bully somebody with like an intellectual disability like that? Like, come on.
there is no transportation company in there. Fraud. There were no
Did you like that? They got him in there like jumping in the car.
transportation companies.
Whoa.
No, none.
This isn't about racism against religion. This is about fraud. We're fighting fraud here. We're not
But you think that all Somalians are pirates and you don't like Islam. So that's a fact that we just showed. But okay.
fighting a race.
Well, and this
It's about them, or I guess it's my opinion based on him saying that it's about them being Islamic. Like, okay.
is what happens when you put a spotlight on fraud. The people who are benefiting become extremely violent, and the Somalis are the most violent people I have ever met in my whole life.
Bro, this guy early, dude, I have to just say, okay, this guy, what the fuck, that was a jumble. This guy earlier literally said that he would follow vans to Costco with Somali people in them. And then he would wait for them to finish shopping and then follow them to their house. He said these words. This is what he said earlier. And now he's sitting here saying that they're the most violent people that he's ever met. Dude, you're stalking Somalians. You are literally stalking Somalians. So if they are violent to you, it's because you stalk them like a fucking predator creep freak. And you aren't willing to show us any of these videos you have of you stalking them because you're just stalking black people because you're a fucking asshole. And you're a weird creep that should probably be in jail. The local David. What are you talking about? Like you are just a racist freak fucking creep that's been lying through this entire video about everything that you've ever done. And you are a stalker of black people. You will stalk black people, and you probably go home and then you fucking jerk off to black people because you're a weirdo. It's astonishing stuff, man. It's incredible.
Because he couldn't answer the question. Where was the transportation company?
He wouldn't answer the question. All he did was make...
Why would he know the answer to that? There's like 80... How many people are in this community? Why would he know where the transportation company is? Why would some fucking random black dude know where a company of 20 buses is? What?
Thinking about race and then issue threats.
Neither business was there or operating, and giving a very conservative estimate based off of David's numbers and other numbers online, it's fair to say each business is operating with an average of 20 vehicles and with a much lower and generous rate of $25 per trip. And
that's interesting. If you just go to the DOT website, you can see how many vehicles they're actually operating with. And also, the Safari is a school bus company. They don't even do any MT.
And with 10 alleged trips a day, each business is pulling an estimate of $1.3 million in gross revenue. And with those two locations...
Bro, it's crazy because this math makes no sense. He's estimating that they're spending $3 billion a year on NEMT services, but we know that there's only like $190 million allocated to NEMT a year inside of Minnesota. What the fuck is he talking about?
Alone, there's over $2.6 million in estimated fraud.
That's crazy, dude.
All right, we're going to the next.
He just found more fraud.
Next location.
What's interesting, Nick, is that one of the places we just visited, the 617 Cedar Avenue South, that's for Dreamline Transportation. That's the address listed.
That's so scary.
With the state of Minnesota.
Whoa.
But the place that we're going right now is going to have vans that say Dreamline Transportation on them. But they haven't moved in months and months. You'll see they're covered with snow. There will be no tire tracks.
Okay.
And so why are they using this address? And all that was in there was a liquor store. And he told us to talk to the guy next door. And those were all just mailboxes. And then the guy next door said, go talk to him. I said, we just talked to him. Okay. Obviously, the cover up, and you see how they all...
I'm not understanding the claim. Their claim is that, hey, they had their office building here. It was registered to the wrong spot, but they actually have their vehicles somewhere else. Oh, okay.
Stick together, and it's all this intimidation. Okay. And thank God we had the security we did there, because that would have been bad.
Now we're outside of this transportation vehicle company right here.
Yeah, and so you can see these are the vans that say Dreamline. You can see the sticker on the window and the numbers on the rear. Cool. None of these vehicles have moved in 8 months.
Can you show us a recording of that?
I've been taking date stamp photos.
Then why is the lot clear?
All these vehicles are in the exact same spot they were 8 months ago. And look, there's no tire tracks, so they haven't moved.
Damn, maybe that's true. What does that matter?
And this van as well, this is Dreamline. Dreamline was the location where we got chased out from the Somalis on 617 Cedar.
Okay, interesting. Well, he has a DOT number here. So if Nick wanted to, he could look them up very easily by just Googling the DOT number. And then you get an address that's different from what they have registered on that other place. What they keep looking stuff up on is like this Office of Minnesota Secretary of State. I don't know why they're not looking at the DOT websites. This would make a much more sense. But they actually have they have their DOT number listed on the window. You could literally Google it, and it still comes up to like a person's address. So this could be, I guess, fraudulent, or it could just be that they're operating out of their house and they have vans parked in a separate area, and they might be doing like their business out of their house. I literally work from home. So that's possible as well. But do you guys look into the DOT number and show that on there here, or no? Or do you call the phone number and see what's going on there? What are you guys doing here?
17 Cedar, and this is a vehicle from Dreamline that actually didn't even exist. It was a liquor store, and now it's here.
Okay.
And the vans haven't moved at all. Literally, no vans and no tire tracks anywhere. If these vans are being used to transport people, whether it be healthcare, childcare, there would be snow tracks.
I suppose. Sure. Okay. I'm still questioning it. I'm looking on the DOT website. What's interesting, I'm trying to figure out, I don't even know how to look this up, but I'm wondering, what do they even, so now I'm questioning if they even do NEMT transport, because before he was incorrect about Safari doing NEMT transport. So I don't really know what they do anymore. Wait a minute. Wait, DOT 3172209. This is the number that they gave, right? Just to confirm. 3172209. 3172209. Okay. It's a trucking company that belongs to belongs to Dreamline Transportation LLC, a trucking company listed in the local Load Connect trucking company directory, providing details about their operations. I'm speaking like Nick Shirley. Providing details about their operations and safety records. So let's just go to this website. Are they even an NEMT service? I don't think that they do, because you wouldn't be registered as a trucking company. Oh, like trucking and transportation. Is this even an NEMT service? It looks like their freight is passenger, so they might be an NEMT service. Okay. I just want to make sure I look into this. Sorry, I'm looking through this DOT. I'm a little confused. I don't think that they're even qualified for passengers. It says general freight. I mean, I guess that could be an issue with them. Or maybe this isn't even an NEMT. Is this even, like, how do we know that this is an NEMT service? All right. I mean, I guess they have these vehicles, so they might be, but.
And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 vehicles here. No snow tracks anywhere. These vehicles are not being used, and these transportation companies are making lots of money. Meanwhile, there's actually nothing to show for it. Here's all of the vehicles right here.
I mean, they don't look like they've been out for a little while. I mean, if it just snowed, maybe they just haven't been out this day, but okay. But also, they're in a trucking yard.
There's actually nothing to show for it.
This is a trucking facility. I'm a little confused.
Here's all of the vehicles, right?
I'm struggling to understand something because this looks like a trucking company. Does it not? What I'm looking up here is that, so there's like very limited information, but it says it belongs to Dreamline Transportation, a trucking company listed in the Load Connect trucking company directory, providing details about their operations and safety, blah, blah, blah. But it's a trucking company. It seems like they're here. It says that they're licensed for intrastate, so inside of the state, non-hazmat. Okay. They're for hire. I wish there was more I just wish there was more information about this company. I truly wish I knew that there was more information. A trucking and transport company. I guess I don't know. It's so hard to look this. I have no idea.
Right here. And the vehicles that are coming in and out, like this Toyota, it does not have anything to do with transportation company because there's no stickers on it and there's snow tracks. But the vehicles that are supposed to be used for transportation are literally locked in. Snow is building icicles. No one's even came out to remove the snow off the window. These transportation vehicles are not moving.
Why don't you go inside and ask them what's up with those cars? Okay.
And then right here.
I guess we're just not going to do that. Why not go inside and ask them what's up with the vehicles? How come you're not doing that?
Here, David has more paperwork for Silver Mountain. And there's 3
Why wouldn't you go inside the facility and say, hey, what's going on with these vehicles parked outside?
Different companies.
Okay, Silver Mountain Home Healthcare. Gotcha. This will be a lot of fun. Might as well keep this on the fucking screen. That's in some capacity. So we know what we're referencing in like 2 seconds when we have to do like fucking 18 hours of goddamn research because this guy can't verify a single fucking claim he makes. It's insane. Okay.
Same address. Yeah. So when we talk about how all these companies...
It literally says passengers as a cargo on their website. Okay. Where? You looked it up? Did I say that on there? Okay. I'm trying to figure out the specifics of why these vehicles aren't used. Maybe it's fraud, but like why wouldn't he go inside or call the company and see what's going on? Like, is it an NEMT provider? I'm just trying to figure these things out.
Companies are intertwined. This is
because there's no kids in the building, so he wouldn't want to go in there. That makes sense.
Perfect example of that.
And this is why these transportation companies are so essential to the fraud in Minnesota, because they allow the fraud to be
They might be fraudulent.
Supported, as the majority of the fraud is from welfare programs like daycares, autism centers, and adult daycares, and healthcare services. They need to leave a paper trail to make it look like something is happening.
Whoa.
Therefore, they use these transportation companies to create that paper trail by saying they are moving people.
So true, King. Again, we got the same fucking video as we got from before. This is
Therefore,
this is
they
so
use
funny
these
to me.
transportation
I just find these so silly. Got it.
companies to create that paper trail by saying they are moving people from an adult daycare to
2 charged for Medicare fraud in the state court. It's just so interesting because he keeps flashing things on screen about how they're trying to deal with the problem.
a healthcare provider, for example, but they actually never provide the service at the healthcare provider. But that paper trail allows them to continue to bill the state for the money, and everyone gets paid. That's why this fraud is so deep and hard to dismantle, because quite literally
They just created a fucking crazy thing here.
everyone is
African Mineral Company. What the fuck? Wait, what? African Mineral Company. What the fuck is this? Does he have a source on this so I can take a look at it? No, of course not. He just flashes it on the screen. What the fuck is this? What is this African Mineral Company? Wait a minute. Hold on. This picture's so funny to me because I'm like, what is going on here? Look, this is something that he probably saw in his first video. This says in-house committee, or excuse me, Minnesota House Committee, fraud and oversight. So like, this is all the information that they seem to be trying to like investigate. Was this in his first video? Yup, he's using this graph. So this is just like the funniest thing in the world to me, because he's putting up like these things here, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? It's a screenshot from his first video when they're in a town hall meeting talking about the fraud that's going on in Minnesota. And this is like the number one thing that I want everybody to take away here, is that we all know there's fraud here. But Nick is pretending that he's like uncovering these deep schemes when he simply isn't. He's just like going around like, this is a graph from the first video before you even put your video out. This is in your first video. Like, you're just putting up a graph of like, hey, look, we're trying to figure out all this stuff. I don't know what's going on with the African Mineral Company, but hey, we have like a web of different information. And it's like, okay, cool, that's valid. So it sounds like they're taking care of it. They have a literal fraud and oversight committee. But okay, and you're showing us all the charges that they're getting.
is involved.
And it's all because the state of Minnesota never checks.
I shit you not. I'm going to go back 5 seconds. Can we just hear this again?
Involved.
And it's all because the state of Minnesota never checks.
This is a graph from the State of Minnesota Fraud and Oversight Committee that they have on the screen that Nick saw in his first video when he showed up at a town hall meeting where they were talking about the issues of fraud in Minnesota after they've gotten 90 people charged and 60 convictions. It's like, that's just the weirdest. Again, this is just the weirdest part of the video, is that this insinuation that they're like, they never try to stop it, they never do anything, as Nick constantly flashes moments where they tried to do something, where like Minnesota has been charging people constantly. He shows these news stories from a month ago that were before he even did his thing, that are like literal Fox News. This is literally Fox News being like, hey, there was a Somali immigrant that was convicted of welfare fraud. Like, he's showing us information from before his investigation even started. This is in his first video where they're talking about all the money that's being investigated for fraud, Minnesota fraud. Like, this is what the problem is that every bit of information that they show from these different news networks, Fox News, CBS, this, that, and the other thing, they all happened before Nick showed up there. No one's arguing that there isn't fraud. It's just that you didn't do anything and your investigative research sucks. That's the point. Look, here's another example in his first video. Like, he's sitting here, he's talking like, it's here we go. It's, you're not doing you're showing up to areas, you're not calling any of these businesses, you're not checking any of their DOT numbers, you're not doing what an investigative journalist would normally do, is like, hey, what's your side of the story? How come these vehicles look like they haven't been moved? How come your address is listed here and it's incorrect? How come let me sit outside of the daycare centers, which is weird, but like, this is what you want to do, and see if any kids actually go in. Let me try to register Joey for daycare. We're not getting anything. Like, we're not getting anything. So what are like? This is insane. It's ridiculous. What are you talking about? In the first video, the committee chair was confronted and repeatedly denied that there was fraud. I'm sorry, but like you need to rewatch that. Do we need to rewatch it together? Like, would it help you if we watched it together so you can actually comprehend what is happening here?
Because we want to build trust, but fraud is fraud. So why should we be enabling fraud to happen here?
No, I don't think anybody is enabling fraud to happen.
Hold Governor Walz accountable for this.
Okay, sir.
No. This
sir,
is not.
Sir.
When are you going to hold Governor Walz? No. She is a representative for the state of Minnesota. Yes or no?
Excuse me.
Yes. Are you?
If you're going to talk to me like that,
are you going to say to her, I'm a disability advocate?
I heard you, and you got a chance to testify.
Thank you for testifying today.
No.
Ma'am, the facts are the facts that fraud is happening here, and it's not a nonpartisan issue. How come you think fraud has been able to happen so much underneath?
I think if you've been
here.
listening to our hearings, we've had now 10 hearings on this. And so there's really good data from the people who both work within the administration as well as who both Democrat and Republicans. I think what you heard today is that the Republicans who control this committee are not actually interested in solving fraud. What they're interested in is telling a story.
This fraud has happened underneath Democrat leader Tim Walz.
There has been Medicaid fraud across the country under Democrats and Republicans. There's fraud within the Trump administration. We have is fraud. Private providers have made government a mark. And so every person running government, Democrats or Republicans, are dealing with the issue of how to keep fraudsters out of our public payment. We're also dealing with veterans. We're dealing with consumers. I hope you're looking at that. If you look at United Health, currently is being charged with defrauding Medicare. You know who runs Medicare? President Trump. Medicaid fraud is a 50-state issue.
So, like, at what part of this video are you seeing that this person is denying that there's fraud? I'd enjoy an answer to that question. This is her, like, talking about how there is fraud, but it's not just a Minnesota issue, and that this is a fucking game that Republicans are playing. You guys don't know what you're talking. I don't know if somebody told you that, if you misinterpreted it. I don't know, but like if you watch that and you see, oh, she's saying there's no fraud there, like you need to question yourself and your ability to parse through information, because that's not at all what's happening here. The GOP invited Nick Shirley here to do a story that's unnecessary. They've been dealing with the fraud for how long? She doesn't deny anything. She's saying that Republicans are weaponizing this right now. So I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I bet, yes, maybe you watched a different version of the video. I don't know what you're referring to, though.
Involved.
And it's all because the state of Minnesota never checks.
He sounds so dumb when he says that.
All right, so
that's our local David.
This is actually the location for Silver Mountain.
Okay, cool.
Inc., LLC, and Co. Let's see if any... Yes, we're wondering where Silver Mountain...
Silver Mountain?
Silver Mountain.
Oh, I don't know that. Where it is?
It says 2722 Park Avenue.
All of you, get out of here.
Where is Silver Mountain here?
Silver Mountain. You don't have a permission to do that.
Okay, so Silver Mountain does not exist.
I have no idea what's going on. Did they go into like some kind of like a municipal building where there's a bunch of different places here? So this is their website right here. Silver Mountain Home Healthcare Corporation. This is apparently what the building looks like. Okay. I'm trying to see what this is here. Are we saying that this is fraudulent? Maybe. Is this a community center? Okay. I wonder if they might be a building inside of this facility, I guess. Why not contact them and call them? Timesheets? I don't know what the timesheets would be referencing at all. All right, sorry. I'm just trying to understand what's happening here when they go into this building. Okay, sorry.
LLC.
Okay.
This is all because the state
for Silver Mountain.
Okay. Silver Mountain Home Healthcare LLC. There's multiple. Where's the address listed? I'm a little confused.
Inc., LLC, and Co.
Okay.
Let's see.
Let's see what we got here. Oh, masks required inside, dude. You better put your masks on.
Let's see if any...
It is a little shitty that you just decided not to put your mask on when you went in here.
Yes, we're wondering where Silver Mountain...
Okay. I guess this would kind of look like the place.
Silver Mountain?
Silver Mountain.
Oh, I don't know that. Where it is?
It says 2722 Park Avenue.
2722 Park Avenue. Yeah, that's the place listed on their website, located at 2722 Park Avenue, Minneapolis, Minnesota. True. Okay. And I mean, this looks like they would be in the right building, right?
Where is Silver Mountain here?
Silver Mountain. You don't have a permission to do that.
Okay, so Silver Mountain does not exist.
I don't know if maybe I don't know. This is like very jumbled.
No, the name's not Silver Mountain. It's just Silver Mountain.
Don't ask me that. When you come.
All right,
So
sir. Well, Silver Mountain does not exist.
You're making a business.
Park
You have
Avenue.
millions of people watching you.
Silver
You're making
Mountain.
business to
Okay,
600
sir.
people.
You have millions of people watching right
Yes.
now. Where
Yeah, that's true. Why aren't the people wearing masks inside? They probably don't care. There's probably like mask required, but nobody cares. So yeah, fair
is
enough.
Silver Mountain?
I don't know
home
where
healthcare?
Silver Mountain is.
Okay, well that's what we're looking for. All right, we're moving on. So Silver Mountain.
Well, I'm trying. Okay, that looks just like the facility for sure, 100%. Maybe there's fraud. I don't know. Okay. Suppose if they don't know what it's so what do they call this place? What do they call this place then? I'm just curious. Like that's one of the questions I would like. Okay, so what is this place called? That's what I would be curious about. Okay, because you'd think that they know what's going on, but I'm just curious. Like, what do they call that place then? If it's not called Silver Mountain for them, what do they call this place? I'm just fucking curious, dude. I'm just curious.
Mountain does not exist. David, we're just simply asking for where is Silver Mountain Home Healthcare?
Can't find any of these companies. I mean, this is shocking. 3 companies are supposed to be in that building, and he's never heard of them. He doesn't know anything about them.
And look, so they don't exist there. Right there, Somali Senior Center and Adult Day Services.
All right, cool. Do you think that one's fraudulent too?
A daycare right there.
Okay.
All these welfare
what does that have to do with anything? That's because they exist right there. I'm just confused.
companies are in the same location.
Well, yeah, that's usually how these things work. That's how like a lot of grocery stores are located in the same place. That's how all these things work. Why wouldn't they just be like a community area? It makes a lot of sense, especially like let's say you have some kind of like a program where multiple people are. They go to like a different service. They would go to those areas. It just makes more sense to have everything in one spot. I don't know.
But their businesses, that business didn't even exist.
It's all fraud. All of it.
I just don't know. What do they call that place? I really wish they would just ask that question. What do you call that place then?
So right there is a transportation company, no passenger, just a driver. How come you think when it comes time to take accountability for what's happening, or just to answer simple questions about the fraud, they can't answer?
Well, I think their reaction tells you all you need to know. The reaction is so violent that if there was no fraud going on, they would say, what are you talking about? They would have a civil conversation.
I guess so. I don't. It seems like you guys are harassing them with like masked men, although they're supposed to be wearing masks in that building. Again, I just wish they would have said, because like the website says Silver Mountain, so this is going to be their claim is like, hey, just because the website says Silver Mountain and shows that facility, just because it's inside of like the it's got all like it has a number, a license number, doesn't mean like that would be the fraud, but it's really just a different building. But like, what is that? I'm just so what the fuck is in there then? Like, what is in there? What do they claim that they are called then? That's the thing that's fucking getting me so much is like, what do they claim that they are if they're not that? All I say is welcome show. I don't know what the fuck that means. I think this just means welcome in Somali. That's funny. Okay, so there's all we can see is a welcome sign, but I don't see anything else in here. So it's like bothering me. Like I wish we would have gotten like, hey, so what do you do if you're not Silver Mountain, whatever? What are you instead then? Like, hey, like that wouldn't that be your follow-up question here? Hey, what are you instead? We got a surveillance thing. I don't know what the fuck this is. They get inside. They kind of just walk into this private business. They're asking these questions.
Silver Mountain.
Oh, I don't know that. What is this?
I don't know that. Who is this guy? Like, what's going on? Is he the director of the place? Should he know?
It says 20
Probably, but like what?
722 Park Avenue.
Where
is Silver Mountain here?
Silver Mountain. You don't have a permission to do that.
Okay, so Silver Mountain does not exist.
I don't. We don't have enough answers, but okay.
But they can't because they know we're shining the light on the fraud.
Maybe.
And they have no defense. So, in their mind, being loud and using profanity is their only defense.
Because I'm trying to give them the opportunity to say, where are the transportation companies?
So anytime somebody yells at him for stalking them, it's their fault. I got it.
Where are the daycare?
The David, by the way, the self-admitted guy who would follow Somalian people home to see what they're getting from Costco. He literally said this in this video. He would follow Somalian people all over the place.
Where are the children? Where are the companies now? Yet they can't answer.
And to this point, Nick, the transportation companies we've been to, we haven't seen a single vehicle at any of them. In fact, some don't even exist. We can't even find them.
Could have just looked up the company and then called them, but okay.
We're going to the addresses that are listed on the Secretary of State's website as their business.
Yeah, why not the DOT website, though? Wouldn't that make more sense in general?
Addresses that are listed on the Secretary of State's website.
Silver Mountain Home Healthcare Corporation. Okay, cool.
As their business address.
Crazy. All right, cool.
This is a massive...
Ooh, we got a new one now. Incredible. Cool. Just wanted to make sure I could find the website just to see what's going on here. And they are NEMT certified or whatever. All right. Okay, cool.
Secretary of State's website as their business address.
This is a massive parking lot here. We're going to go ask them where their vehicles are. They should not have any excuse as to why they don't have their vehicles here.
Well, this is their registered office address. They're not necessarily going to have their vehicles at their registered office address, right? 713. Oh, wait a minute. What business am I looking up? I'm super confused right now. Okay, yeah, no, I'm right on the right one. Yeah, this is their registered office address. Could you guys imagine he was at the wrong spot? I'm just being stupid. Okay.
They should not have any excuse as to why they don't have their vehicles here.
But this is their registered office address. It doesn't necessarily mean that's going to be the same place where they have all their vehicles.
Other than if they are out driving right now. And what's the story behind this business?
Well, this business is new as of March of 2024.
Okay.
It's Muhammad Malim is the registered agent for 713 Minnehaha Avenue East.
Me and David headed into this building, however, the owner was not there.
We're here at the suite of Epimonia Transport LLC. There's actually not even a sign here.
Oh my God, dude, this is a cell phone. They understand that, right? If you're at a suite, that means that you're at some kind of a municipal building, no? Like, wouldn't that mean that you're at a municipal building that has other suites for other people that might be there? It's like going to like a healthcare suite, no? What is this place called? Wait a minute. Hold on a second. This is silly. I don't know if this is like, look at this. I looked up the place without the suite in there. And you have like Image Studios, Black Sheep Tattoo and Art, and Blackout Tattoo. I think this is just an office building. I think he just, we should definitely not use MapQuest. I think he just showed up to an office building, no? What is this? He showed up to an office building in one of those, yeah. Look at this. There's an art outlet. There's a motor company. There's Image Studios. There's a photography place. There's a dog service. There's Endurance United. I don't know what that is. Everest. What is this place supposed to be called? What is that? Epimonia? I don't fucking know how to say that. I don't give a shit either. Right, so we're just kind of in like a big office building with a bunch of places. Center State's Wire. We're just in an office building. They're not going to necessarily, like, do people not understand that you would have an office build as an art outlet? You have an office building could be a different spot where you have like your actual yard, especially if they're doing like NEMT transport. They might even have the drivers take their stuff home. They might literally have their driver. Like, you have to understand that, like, especially a smaller company. Like, I mean, I don't know how big this company is. Let's see what they're registered for. This company is registered with the DOT website for 2 people. This is a smaller company that probably works through Uber Health. It's registered to 2. There's only 2 drivers that work for them. And so like, what do we expect them to? They have like an office building, I guess, like a little office area in there. They're not like a massive company. They have 2 fucking drivers. And just to be clear, I'm looking on the literal DOT, like the Department of Transportation website. They're not a huge industry. So I'm a little confused here. Oh, look at this. Oh. Okay, I'm understanding now. So I'm on the website, the ePamonia website of transportation. This seems to be like an overarching group that helps you create smaller businesses, basically through, you'd say, like a franchisee type of a model. So it looks like this service here allows you to register with them to create a smaller service for like to create like your own service. Right? Like, I guess similar to franchising a McDonald's, but not quite as crazy. So they offer you job training, it seems like. 6 hours of free practical driving training to help individuals obtain their license and gain independence. So this is basically, this company exists to help people. It seems like, and it does seem like they're legal immigrants in America, like many new Americans get trained to do driving so that they can drive for different services. So this is like the this is why you need to do your research, folks. This is why you need to look it up. Look up the DOT. Look up the Department of Transportation. What do they have to say about this? There's 2 fucking drivers working for this thing. They're basically subcontracted. This is kind of embarrassing for Nick. Okay.
And anyone here.
Yeah, like a ghost kitchen, but for driving. Yeah, sure. That's a good way to say it. Sure.
Here. It looks like there's a guy over here. Let's see if we can talk to him really quick. Do you know about ePamonia transport? We can talk to him really quick. Do you know?
It's weird. I'm looking at something because like when we look back at this, there's no sign over that door, but there's a sign over the next door.
Do you know about ePamonia?
Which is Mad Van.
Transport here?
So there was a transportation company here in 305. For a long time, even before I joined the building a few years ago.
Okay, interesting. I'm curious about that. Okay, so what's sitting there is this place called Timely Mobility at 305. This is the this would be there. That's what I looked up. This is the 305 building. So it's a different transport. So like I looked it up. This is the transportation company at the suite 305. So 713, yada yada yada, suite 305. This is a different company though. This is a completely different company that he's referencing right now.
He's never really here. I've seen the office a couple times. There's barely anything in there but a couch. And then I see him maybe twice a month at IF. So.
And there's no transport vehicles outside. Massive parking lot, but no transport.
I've never seen one. I've been here for 3 years and I'm always here. I'm a workaholic. I'm just nonstop here, so I know everybody in the building. And
so I have no fucking idea what this. This is a completely different company. I have no idea what they do, but they don't have any drivers registered, so I don't really know. I don't really know what the fuck this is. I have no idea what this. Maybe that one is legitimately fraudulent. I don't know, but this has nothing to do with the other facility that we're talking about here. Okay, gotcha. Okay.
This specific space here is probably the most sketchy out of any other business here. Everyone else is here. They're friendlier. He just pops in and out.
Wait, so why doesn't he know with a 308?
Never but a cop. So there was
ePamonia transport here.
So there was a transportation company here.
Oh, so he just has no idea about 308.
I'm a workaholic. I'm here. They're friendlier. He just pops in and out.
And for instance, this guy Muhammad, he should have his business in 308. There should be transportation vehicles outside. There's nothing.
He only has 2 vehicles though, so why would there be a bunch of vehicles outside? For all we know, that there are 2 vehicles outside.
That's weird that you say 308 because he's always been in 305.
Right, but we're talking about 2 different companies here.
For the last 3 years.
Wow, so he's even lying on his public records.
This kid is fucking so dumb. I'm sorry, dude. This is so difficult. Like, holy shit. My man, there's 2 different like you can literally Google I don't know if you guys know this. You can Google this stuff. I know it's crazy. It's like the Google crashed out. No, there are two different companies registered to each of these things. Epimonnia, whatever you call, is at one of them. But if you look up the address for 317, like Suite 305, you will find a different company there. It's a different company. That's it. And then when you find that different company that's there, all you have to do is look up the name of it on the DOT website, and you'll figure out that it's two separate companies inside of a large like building, like office building. Okay.
With the government.
Okay.
I would assume if he was to make...
Nick is an idiot, dude.
And doing fraud, it makes sense to switch it up and throw people off track. It would
Right, but there's two different companies, right?
be the first thing somebody would do, I would think.
So since the fraud has started...
Okay, this guy's an idiot, dude. This is crazy. This is fucking crazy, bro. I have like 80,000 tabs up on like two different windows, and I'm like sitting here, I'm like, okay, what about this one? What about this one? What about this one? What's going on here? Right? It's fucking crazy, dude. But this guy he's referencing the wrong company. He's so fucking stupid. He's an idiot. Holy shit. This is fucking ridiculous. Yeah, this is Timely Mobility that he's referencing right now. Like, look. Look at this. I looked it up. I already showed this, but I looked up the address, but Suite 305 instead of 308. It comes up with Timely Mobility. This is a different place, right? Then all you have to do is take Timely Mobility LLC, and you just have to put this in here, and you have to say DOT. And then all of a sudden you get a website, and you can go down and it has the same address. And this is a different company registered to it. Like, who owns it? Does it even say? This is a completely different scenario, though. This is a completely different scenario. Look up the DOT website. What the fuck is up with that guy? And yeah, who the fuck was that guy? I don't know who that fucking guy. My ass for my fucking elbow here. What the hell are we talking about? This is so stupid. This is just like fucking ridiculous to me. This is insane to me, bro. Great stuff, man.
To be exposed, Muhammad has left the scene, and that guy just said he confirmed that there was never even mention.
Hey, Nick, have you ever thought that maybe the guy that has a small company of only 2 drivers is one of the drivers? Bro, this kid is too rich. He's never had to struggle. Actually, you should understand, Nick, your mom probably owns your company, but let's say you're the owner of Nick Shirley. You have to go and work. This guy, like, if you own a business, it doesn't mean that you're a CEO that gets to jack off all day. The guy's he's probably going around working.
Transportation vehicles outside.
What?
So Muhammad has completely left the scene. He's nowhere to be found, and this parking lot, massive parking lot, actually never even had any transport vehicles, according to the guy who lived or had his office next to Muhammad.
Okay.
How quick do you think the fraud would dry out here in Minnesota if they were to...
This guy is so dumb. This video is even worse.
Cut out the transportation side of the fraud.
I think it would have a massive effect, and that the signal that would send would let people know the party's over.
They're at like a giant office place that has like a bunch of small offices in it, and they're like, hey, how come? You could see it through the windows. Look at how close these windows are together. It's probably each individual office is like incredibly small, and they're freaking out over a 2-driver fucking place.
Because if me and you were to go to the doctor, we either have to find a family member, drive ourselves, or pay for an Uber. How come they have even...
That's true. He's 23, I think. So like that's a kid to me, but he's an adult idiot. You're right.
How come they even have this set up?
Yeah, I tried to arrange a ride with one of these Somali transportation companies. They said they were all full. So.
Oh, okay. So can you show us you on the phone call? Nick, can you try to do that and see if like that happens and that's productive? I'd love to see that.
Now we're at...
Nope, we're not going to do that. This guy just says he does a thing, and like it's just like, okay, he said he did a thing. Okay.
2833 13th Avenue South in Minneapolis. And there's supposed to be a non-emergency medical transportation company here called Advance.
All right, Advanced Mobility. All right, so I found Advanced Mobility. Beautiful stuff right here. This is all their information. This is what they're showing on the screen, of course. And then, of course, I did my due diligence, and I decided to look it up on the DOT website. So on the DOT website, here's the thing. Their mailing address is the same address that is listed here. But then they also have a physical address, which is here. and which is 1522, blah blah blah. And this looks like their executive office address. Okay, so there's multiple different addresses here, but this would be their physical address. So I wonder what they're going to show up to, because they're going to show up to their mailing address. It looks like, instead of their physical address. And also, they conveniently cut off. If you look here, it shows the number of shares and also shows the registered agents. They for some reason decided to cut off the chief executive office and the principal executive office addresses for some reason. I'm not entirely sure why they would cut that off. Maybe it was an accident. But this place is also registered for 2 drivers, so it doesn't seem like they have a whole lot of drivers working for this, which actually raises the question: why do they have so many different offices here? That's a little weird. Let's see where it takes us.
Mobility Incorporated. And what's interesting about this company is that state records show that it first registered with the state of Minnesota in 1999.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's true. 1015.
And they have been in business for over 26 years.
Yes.
With, I guess, only two different things.
Correct.
And so we're going to go inside.
They must have a lot of vehicles.
So this is...
Nope, you could look that up on the DOT website. It's interesting that you guys refuse to do the basic research.
Advanced Mobility 2833 boarded up.
Oh, so it's been closed for a long time and they just forgot to unregister for the website? Is that what we're saying?
All these windows are covered right here.
Oh, yeah, they probably ended in... So it looks like they ended in 2024. They haven't had an update since 2024. Okay, they might be closed. I mean...
We're going to see if we can go inside.
Oh.
There's a bunch of shops in here. We have money transferring shop. We got clothes in here. Okay. There's a coffee shop.
Gotcha.
Let's see if Advanced Mobility is in here. We got spices. Is Advanced Mobility here?
You know 224? I don't think you guys are allowed to record it.
Do you know where Advanced Mobility is?
Suite 224.
She's recording over there, so.
I don't think she's recording you, but go look for
Suite 224. Do you guys know where Advanced Mobility is? Do you guys know where Advanced Mobility is?
Advanced Mobility?
Yeah, we're looking for it. Never heard of it?
Maybe that one's a scam. I don't know. Looks like a market. Yeah.
What is this? What is that?
Oh, my name is Nick Shirley. We're just looking for Advanced Mobility.
Hey.
Where's Advanced Mobility at?
We don't care about Advanced Mobility.
That's what we're asking for. All right, we're looking for Advanced Mobility. Nobody can help us right now.
Well, so the problem here is that this is their mailing address. And so it's possible they just have some random mailing address listed here. I don't really know why Nick Shirley cut out the information for the chief executive officer or the principal executive office address. I don't understand why. Like, wouldn't you want to look up, like, he for some reason decided not to show it on his screen. I guess we could just look at it now. This one comes up with it looks like somebody's house. Again, there's only 2 drivers, so maybe that's why it's listed to a house. Again, a lot of these places, and again, it could be fraud, but a lot of these places utilize Uber Health to make like small businesses, basically. Then this other address is associated with We Care for You LLC, which seems to be a different company. That maybe it's like a parent company. I don't really know the specifics. You know, of course, I'm not the investigative journalist here. This is their physical address, though. It seems to be right here. If you look on the DOT website, you know, this is really difficult to find. You just have to look up the name of the company and put the word DOT after it on Google, so it's tough to find. This is what we get here, which looks like another house. I don't know. Let's see. Let's just look up Google Maps. Oh, we're already on it. Okay. That's here. I don't know exactly what is here, but this is their... Oh, it looks like a bunch of smaller buildings. Is there a way to look at the Google Maps version of this? Or maybe they don't have it listed. I don't really know how to switch to Google Maps. I'm kind of fucking stupid. Oh, okay. It looks like a house. Oh, it looks like somebody's house. Yeah. So it looks like this is registered to somebody's house, which kind of makes sense. Because again, if you look at the DOT website, it only has 2 drivers listed for this very small company. So it might be like a father and son or something. I don't really know. But yeah, there you go.
We got a whole group of people trying to get us out of here. We're looking for advanced.
Well, yeah, you made your first like weird creep fucking like stalking Muslim people videos, so.
Mobility. Advanced mobility doesn't exist.
Get the fuck out of here, man. Get out. You need to get out. You need to get out. Get out.
Now they're pushing us out of here.
Get out.
Where's advanced mobility at?
We don't care about advanced mobility.
That's what we're asking for.
Get out. Get out.
Would you like to give a statement on where advanced mobility is?
Nope. Go ahead. Get out. We don't care.
So advanced mobility is not anywhere here.
Yeah, but again, you were looking up their, you were looking at their mailing address. You weren't looking. It's just so weird. He was looking at their mailing address. And I guess in his defense, on this website, it says it's their registered office address. But he cuts out these 2 other addresses that he could have looked up. And if he just looked up the website on the looked it up the company on the DOT website, he would see that one of the addresses, which is their mailing address, matches up with their office address, which makes sense because it's an office address. And then they have a physical address, which is something different. So like, you know, this website looks like maybe it wasn't even updated since 2024. It looks like this website is shitty. But all right, man, I guess.
We're leaving, sir. Would you like to give a statement on what's happening here in Minnesota?
You make stuff up. This is a lie. I don't care. Who do you work for? Who do you work for? No, who do you work for?
Nick Shirley.
Who do you work
This
for?
is Nick Shirley, sir.
I don't care about Nick Shirley. That's you.
Yes, sir.
But who do you work for?
For Nick Shirley.
I don't care about Nick Shirley.
That's who he's working for today, Nick Shirley.
Are you paying him? Probably not.
We don't care about that. Get out of here.
Stop here.
And see, you guys say I can't film, but look
It's so funny. They just decide that there's fraud there.
at you guys filming. You can do that. You can film here.
Advanced
Well, when you're inside that building, it's kind of subject to the owner of the buildings, what they think, just to be clear.
mobility doesn't exist.
Well, so what was interesting was we walked in there, and on the state's website, it says it's in Suite 224, but it's a 1-story building. None of the suites had the number 2 on them. It doesn't exist.
Oh, okay. Maybe.
And it's been registered since 1999, and it doesn't exist.
All right, next location, David.
Crazy. Oh, that would make sense. Actually, that does make kind of sense here. Hold on a second. Like 1 second. I'm going to look something up. It's possible that 224 is like, I don't even know. It looks like they have number 224 listed under their principal executive office address. I don't fucking know, dude. They have a bunch of different addresses here. This could be fraudulent. I don't know. I just wish that they wouldn't have hidden these other 2. Like, there's 2 other addresses that they just decided to ignore. And they didn't look up the DOT website. Again, like, why are you doing this to yourself?
David, where are we at?
We're at what's called Ray's, R-A-Y.
The problem is that, like, I'm not 100% sure because I don't see enough information to be 100% sure. They are 100% sure despite the fact that they are showing a third of the information I'm showing you.
Crazy Transportation, LLC.
All right, let's do the next one. They keep doing this thing where they cut out other information. Like, they cut out they cut out, like, most of the info. They have the renewal date and then the registered office address, but they don't show you the mailing address. They don't show you any of this. Like, why are they cutting so much out? It's so strange. So this next place, it looks like the mailing address is also their physical address, which I found on the DOT website, and they are registered for 1 driver. So it's 1 guy owning a small company for himself. Okay.
And this is Ray's Transportation. We're on a street. There's no parking lot for any transportation vehicles.
Yeah, it's just 1 guy. So that makes sense.
We'll see what happens. This is the address for Ray's Transportation. Let's see if anybody is here. Is Ray's Transportation here, sir?
Well, they're at like the apartment number 101. That's at least what it says. So you would probably go to 101, no? It's a health clinic? I have no idea.
I don't know. Transportation place. There's no transportation places here.
Oh, okay. Well,
okay. So they have office spaces for rent. You're asking a security guard. He doesn't necessarily know about every place. Why don't you go inside?
It's just
Healthcare places.
R-A-Y-Z.
well, I think it's confirmed they're not here, David.
It's confirmed because the security guard said so? Why? I don't understand that. All right, I finally figured out what my confusion was. I'm sitting here and I'm like, this isn't the right place that they're at. Because they're not at the right place. But it's not really their fault that they're not at the right place. But it also kind of is their fault. So if you look on the website here, it has their registered office address and then it has a mailing address. Of course, I don't care about this office of the Minnesota Secretary of State. I'm more interested in what the DOT has to say. And the DOT has to say that the physical address and the mailing address are the same. So it looks like this guy is, and if you also look at the DOT website, he's a single driver operating probably outside of his house, like, which is fine. Like it's you could do that. I work from home. And so it seems like he works it out of his actual apartment or something. And this is an incorrect mail, like the mailing address, or excuse me, the registered office address is incorrect on the website. That's what my best guess is here.
And this is Ray's Transportation. We'll see if any.
No transportation place. There's no.
But there are office spaces for rent. So maybe at one time they were there and they never updated. That would probably be the most logical thing. Is that they never updated. They didn't update their office address would make the most sense to me.
Transportation places here.
Oh, okay, well.
It's just
healthcare places.
RAYZ.
Right, that's a healthcare place. Okay, maybe he was there someplace. Maybe he wasn't allowed to be there because it's an office space.
Well,
or it looks like a healthcare office space. That's what I would imagine. QR code's not working, but okay.
Well, I think it's confirmed they're not here.
We got this.
They're kind of like ghost companies. They exist on paper, but they don't actually exist.
Yeah. Well, it would help if you looked up their DOT registration
in person. Would you like?
Why are you adding money? Like, here's another thing. Why are you adding money to the list?
Like ghost confirmed that Ray.
Oh.
Well, I think it's confirmed they're not here, David.
So this is what's happening. He's going to these different places, and despite the fact that in the first video he showed how much money each individual industry got, he has no information for how much money they have actually gotten. So what he's doing is he's just deciding to add, I think, $8 million or something. I don't know, not 8 million, like a couple $100,000, whatever, some random amount of money every time he can't find the information because he didn't do his due diligence and check the DOT website. That's what's happening. Okay.
Confirmed that Ray Transportation, all of these transportation companies.
Gotcha.
They're kind of like
now I'm understanding.
Those companies, they exist on paper, but they don't actually exist in person. Would you like to see anybody in the government here held accountable?
Most definitely, because there can definitely be an allocation of funds.
For sure. Well, they got Amy Block, the white woman who ran this scheme that he was talking about before. But.
And what's your message to Tim Walz?
Make a change.
True.
Make a change, because there's definitely, even when it comes down to like the kids and stuff, there's definitely stuff that like we need spaces for the.
There it is. A black fella's agreeing with Nick. It must be right. Well, he's just saying that there's fraud, which we already knew that there's fraud here. But Nick is definitely an idiot.
Things that are going on that they're not doing, we need these type of spaces for it.
True.
This is some crazy stuff. But I'm glad that you bring a light to it. It is a crazy, interesting situation.
The light was already brought to it, though, right? He didn't really bring light to anything. There was like 60 convictions and 90 people charged before Nick showed up. So.
Hey, what's up? What you got going on, man? Hey. You keep that false narrative that you be going on. It's a nonsense.
You should get in your car
because you should not be doing that, right? You are creating misinformation. This is not fair. It's not.
It is true. He's creating a lot of misinformation.
Not fair for the American people to be doing that. It's not fair. It's not fair what you mean. You cannot be doing that. You're not being fair.
He's right.
How?
This country is built on fairness. You're not being fair.
Yeah,
you cannot come into the community and be doing that.
So we shouldn't allow fraud to be happening, right?
Let the legal system do its job.
Well, it's failed.
We gotta go.
Well, it hasn't failed, right? Like, you haven't done anything, really.
Governor, we got an attorney general. Let them do the job. You're not in a position to do the job. You're not a prosecutor. If you want to run for office, go ahead, run for office. But you cannot be doing this. This is misinformation. This is defamation.
It's unfortunate because like he's not wrong, but he doesn't know why he's right. So like you kind of should show up and be like, yeah, like why aren't you doing this? You're not. Well, I mean, in this video, you wouldn't be able to fact check it live because it's in the video because he's not parsing the DOT website. But He's not wrong. I mean, again, the way that he went, like he was wrong about the Leering Center. We already knew he was wrong about the Leering Center because there has a bunch of violations associated with them not providing enough care for the kids, right? So if he's like, yeah, dude, you were wrong about this, you were wrong about that. Like you didn't show up at the daycare's open to see if people are actually there. You didn't call any of the numbers. Like you did a terrible video. That would have been better.
How is it misinformation, sir? It's from the
This is what you're doing.
state
You're
of
coming
Minnesota.
You're coming everywhere. Where you coming from?
You see what I mean? We're talking about the facts that's happening here.
You can't. It's Southside. It's hot turf. Get it.
Sir, so we were just having a civil conversation. That guy hopped out of his car in the middle of the road.
Hot dogged his car? I've never heard that before, but okay. Oh, hopped out of. Okay, sorry. He must be thinking about hot dogs. Maybe that's his food, his specific food he only likes to eat.
In the middle of the road.
Some like macaroni and cheese, and chicken nuggets, but I guess he likes hot dogs.
About the fraud that's happening.
Or maybe I'm just hungry, dude. I haven't eaten in 20 minutes. I think it's time for a crash out.
And he's saying that I'm the bad guy for showing light of what's happening here.
That's true. If somebody actually did approach him and give him like actual facts, and they would just not have it in the video. You're right.
They're passionate people. They don't want this type of stuff either going on or be brought to light. So
thanks, man. You're an idiot.
That's what they're gonna do. They're gonna it's a very tight knit community.
You saw it firsthand how crazy it gets out here. He hopped out in the middle of the intersection. So this isn't about race. You're a black guy. They're black, right? We don't have no ill feelings.
Yeah, but what if the guy was Muslim? You'd be afraid.
Feelings towards you by any means. We're talking about the fraud. That's.
I wonder if this guy realizes he's being used as the pick-me black guy for the video. Like he's literally being used as just like a weapon from Nick.
So God bless you, sir, and thank you very much. Why are we doing this?
So we're
because David is bored and his kids won't talk to him because he's a weirdo.
doing this, A, because it's the right thing to do.
Maybe he does no kids. You know what? I think David's a closet. I think David's like a gay guy, but he wasn't allowed to be gay back then. And so like now he's just really weird because he just couldn't be himself. So he just repressed all of his aspects and focused on being afraid of black people or something.
The people of Minnesota and the people of America want this done. Fraud is fraud.
So true, King.
And when we try and talk with these people and say, look, the main reason we're doing this is to find out why are all these checks being written by the state of Minnesota for companies that don't even exist.
So true, King. So true.
That's what we're trying to figure out. It's not a race issue.
But none of these single individual drivers are probably getting a check though, right? Like they're probably going to be working through like Uber Health, but okay.
A fraud issue, and fraud is fraud.
And so what most people don't understand about this fraud is it is literally in the entire state of Minnesota. It's not just in one part of Minneapolis.
Right, and so I think what
we knew that
happens is the people in the suburbs of Minneapolis and St. Paul, they get lulled into a false sense of security because they say, oh, that's in Minneapolis, it doesn't affect us, or that's in St. Paul. And we're showing that this fraud spreads throughout the entire state of Minnesota, including all of the suburbs, and we're going to bring to light exactly what's going on in those respective suburbs.
And so what's happening in this suburb of St. Louis Park?
The what?
In those respective suburbs.
And so what's happening in this suburb of St. Louis?
The suburb, yeah, of course.
Park.
Yeah.
Well, this is one of the Somali NEMT, non-emergency medical transportation companies that's registered with the state of Minnesota in St. Louis Park. And so let's see if this one actually exists.
This is the location.
All right, we got a new one, baby. So he's instantly not going to find what he's looking for because the address he has registered here is 8301 whatever, blah, blah, blah. But that on the DOT company does not exist. So they actually have changed pretty significantly. Again, there's only 2 drivers. So like this is the DOT website and they're registered to a different place in Minnesota now. So this hasn't been updated since 2024. That's where they're going to have their issue and they're not going to find whatever they're looking for here. But again, these seem to be like addresses, like home addresses and stuff. I mean, they're just they know they're not going to find what they're trying to find.
Of Crescent Transportation, we have no vans outside right now. Does not look like.
They have 2 drivers based on the DOT website, so I don't know why they would have vans outside.
Any vans are outside. Let's go inside, see if Crescent Transportation.
Why don't you call the phone numbers for these people? They're listed on the DOT website. All right, you're not using the actual website that would matter. Okay.
Exist. Here we are, and It's an apartment complex.
Right,
There's
true.
no signage of any Crescent Transportation Company. Once again,
this is a 2-driver facility, so if they're working from home, who gives a shit?
another fraudulent business where they don't even have a storefront to show where they're at. This is an apartment complex.
Why would you need a storefront if you work from home, Nick? It doesn't make any... Where's your storefront? You guys work from home too? Where do you edit? Do you have a facility? Maybe you do. You're a large company, but not everybody does that. Okay.
So this is an apartment complex right here?
Yeah.
And have you ever seen Crescent Transportation out here?
Nope.
And what do you think about the fraud taking place here in Minnesota?
Huh? I'm a taxpayer. I don't like it.
What's your message to all the fraudsters?
Huh? Prosecute their ass. Take them to jail.
And how do you feel knowing that, for instance, right here, a transportation company that receives money from the government is not even here? It's an apartment complex.
I just said, I don't like it. I'm a taxpayer. I work hard for my money.
It's just so funny because Nick Shirley doesn't understand that, like, this company, if you look it up on the fucking DOT website, is registered to 2 drivers and they're operating out of like a fucking apartment complex. That's it. Like, this guy is so stupid. It's blowing my fucking mind. He's just being so incredibly fucking dumb. All this information is public. Why wouldn't you look this up on the DOT website to see if they're DOT registered? They're drivers, but he doesn't do that. So he's getting outdated information. Because just so you know, you have to keep your information updated on the DOT website. This business website for like the fucking Minnesota Secretary of State, probably not as up to date as the literal Department of Transportation. One is a government institution. The other one is like some kind of a business list on like the Secretary of State's website. It's just not going to be held to the same standard, man. They're using the incorrect website as a reference.
Money, people out here fraud, they still go to jail.
And should Tim Waltz go to jail?
Oh, he cricket too, huh? All them cricket.
This guy doesn't even know anything about Tim Walz. He's like, oh, is he creaky?
All the politicians. My daddy ain't never liked none of them.
So that man right there just confirmed that this is an apartment complex.
Right, and so the cities have specific rules governing operating businesses out of apartments. They do not allow transportation companies to park vehicles in an apartment parking lot. None of the cities in the Twin Cities allow that.
So one, in their defense, apparently you're supposed to keep it updated on the website they're using, so I can't fault them too much, but I still would expect the DOT. But like, what do you mean? Like, you can't park a van?
In an apartment, not allow transportation companies to park vehicles in an apartment parking lot.
Okay. First of all, who cares? Second of all, he's not right. So many Minnesota cities restrict large commercial vehicles that weigh over 9,000 pounds from residential areas. Okay, cool. But they're all using minivans, and minivans weigh from 4,000 to 5,000 pounds. So basically, David is stupid and doesn't know dick worth a fuck. So David's an idiot. And this is like their smoking gun. It's like, oh, there's all these companies that have 1 or 2 drivers operating out of their own apartment, but you're not allowed to park a transportation vehicle inside of an apartment complex parking lot overnight. But then if you look at it, the city ordinances said that you can do that as long as they're less than 9,000 pounds, which a minivan is, which is what they're using for these NEMT transports. So like, David is so wrong. Basic fact checks show that David is so wrong. Like, what are you talking about? You like, this screams to me that Nick Shirley's like, okay, I don't want to get sued, so I'm going to use like the local nutcase, the local David, as a scapegoat. Okay, thanks, David. Thank you, the local David. Appreciate it.
Because even if you were to be running a transportation company out of your apartment, there's nowhere to park the cars.
You just park it in a parking spot.
Where are they?
Well, it's the middle of the day, David. People have to work. Maybe they're out working.
There aren't any Crescent. I don't see anything with Crescent on it anywhere.
Yeah, maybe it's because it's the middle of the day and everyone's working. There's no cars in this parking lot in general because they're working. Do you see all the lines? People are out working. They're driving in the snow to go to work, David, which neither of you have a meaningful job.
More fraud taking place here.
These guys are so stupid. More fraud taking place here because I said so, baby. Holy fuck, these people are so dumb.
So this is called Hopkins Child Care Center. This facility is licensed to hold 118 children. So this should.
Oh, we're back to daycares. Gotcha. Okay, we're back to the daycares, guys. We're back to the daycares after we failed emphatically last time. We're back to the daycares. Okay, incredible stuff. Can't wait. All right.
It'd be a really big facility, and this year alone, they have received $2.25 million from the state of Minnesota.
Crazy.
And last year, they received $1.92 million from the state of Minnesota. And this facility, in the past 5 years, has been in the top 10 for the most money received from the state of Minnesota.
So there should be plenty of children. There should be footprints of children walking in there.
Footprints. Why don't you show up when it opens and see if there are children there? I don't understand. What is this footprint stuff? I don't understand what that means. I don't get it. It's so weird.
This should be a very busy place, yes.
So this right here is Hopkins Child Care Center. They're receiving over $2 million a year. All of the windows are completely blacked out.
We're doing this. Yeah, man. If there's kids in there, they're probably gonna black them out, boss. That would make the most sense for them to black those out. Why wouldn't they black those out? Like, I don't get it. But okay, you're the boss.
You can't even get in, and for a place that's supposed to have over 100 children, there's no footprints.
Whoa.
Anywhere going into the store.
Interesting. Okay. Was Google Maps ass in Minneapolis? This sucks because I'm trying to look it up, but it gives you 715. Oh, 715 is there, but then you click on it, and now it defaults to 750. So now that's 750 Main Street. So I'm gonna go over here a little bit, and like I don't even know. This is 768. Okay, great. This is helping me. But then if you click on it, it says it's fucking okay. That's 768. Okay, then we would go this way, right? So now we're here at a bar. All right, here we go. Right over here. This is 7:30. We're in the right direction, guys. We figured it out, guys. We just had to turn around. Wow, that's embarrassing. I just had to turn around. You know what, Google, you kind of fucked me on this one here. Anyway, we figured it out. Here it is. It's closed. I mean, this actually might be a case of fraud, dude. I don't know. Maybe it is. If this is where they're registered to, maybe this is a fraudulent situation. Damn, I should have just used fucking MapQuest, honestly.
The windows are completely blacked out. You can't even get in. And for a place that's supposed to have over 100 children, there's no footprints anywhere going into the store.
True. Are you? I mean, well, do you see? Wait, there's a sign right here.
A place that's supposed to have over 100 children, there's no footprints anywhere going
that's their capacity,
into the store.
What day of the week are you out right now, Nick? I'm just kind of curious about that. Because you kind of rushed this video. So 3 days ago, let's see, what day was it 3 days ago? January 14th? What the fuck is today? I don't care. It's a weekend. I don't know. Maybe he got it out the same day. I don't know. What day is it? I'm just curious. But yeah, I guess if they're getting a lot of money, that could be fraud. I mean, listen, it looks like this is maybe a closed building. I don't really know, but I'm curious where he's getting this information from. Like where are you getting the information from with how much they make? That's what's confusing me. Yeah, so this looks like it might be fraud. I just don't know where he's getting this number from for the 2.25 million. Like, he doesn't show a source for that. So I guess I have to take his word for it, which I'm not too keen on. All the other information is correct. I find that on the Department of Human Services website. I just don't see what their budget is. Like, how do we know? Where do you get this budget from? That's the only thing that I'm concerned with. So just to be clear, it's not known at all. I love the AI. Specific budget details for Hopkins Child Center aren't readily public, but it's known to receive around 2 million to 2.5 million annually. The references are Facebook posts. Our Facebook posts that are from fucking the Nick Shirley. Wait, how do I know that they receive this much money? That's the only thing I'm concerned with. Like, why? Like, how do we know that? This is the page. It doesn't tell you how much money they're making. It says that they're active, so this could be fraud. I'm just so confused, like, with the money. There's no public budget details. So then we don't actually know what their funding is. He could just be making something up. Okay. I mean, maybe he's right about this one. I just, I'd like to know where they're getting the information from. Let's see, Papa Google. This website doesn't have it that you referenced, but I appreciate it. This is like, I guess, child care development funding map. It doesn't show the specific place that I'm looking for. At least I'm not seeing it in here, whatsoever. So, yeah, I'm not seeing it here. Maybe Nick found some fraud. I just don't know where he's getting this number from because it's not publicly available.
Are completely blacked out. You can't even get in. And for a place that's supposed to have over 100 children, there's no footprints anywhere going into the store.
So true. So true.
Damn. And it's locked. Midday right now.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
This is the backside of the daycare. Ringing the doorbell right now.
Okay.
See if anybody comes. Hello, sir. How are you doing? How are you doing? Yes, sir.
Get out.
Okay, listen.
Get out. This is our business.
Each other, okay?
Yes,
What are you
sir.
looking for?
We don't care what you do on the parking lot.
Go this side.
This
private.
I can be here in the parking lot.
No. You don't be here.
Wait,
What are
can
you
we
looking
ask
for?
you about the daycare?
Well, there's people there, so you know, I mean, I'm kind of curious about this one. This might actually be the first one that's more confirmed than any of the other ones.
It's all right. It's all right. Can we ask you about the daycare?
No. I don't care, Ken.
Sir, I'm not racist.
You have to live here.
I'm asking
No. You don't ask me nothing, man.
$2.25 million.
Get out, you guys. Get out.
$2.5 million.
Get out.
This is a business.
Get out, hey. Get out. What are you looking for?
We're asking. We just want to
Get out.
We just want to ask you about
A lot of dudes working here. I feel like this one's actually a little. This might be sketchy.
$2.25 million.
Get out.
You say
Get out
of here, man.
Get out, guys. Get out.
You cannot do that.
Get out. No, you cannot. You cannot do that.
Where?
Get out.
This is.
Get out, man. No. Get lost. Get out. No.
Sir.
You have to get out. This is our property. Get out.
Why? Can I ask you about the daycare? I have
It does say Hopkins Child. That's a shit ass sign, dude.
the paperwork right here.
No. Get out.
What's the need for $2.25 million for a daycare?
Get out.
Can you answer the question?
Get out. No, I don't ask you any question. You guys, get out.
You can't answer the
Get
question.
out. No. Who are you?
My name's Nick
Who are you?
Shirley.
No, I don't give a shit. Get out.
Could you answer the question?
No, I don't.
What's the need for $2.25 million for a daycare?
No.
Could you answer the question?
No, I don't.
What's the need?
What is this information sheet? What the fuck is this? I don't understand what this piece of paper is. I wish they had fucking sources for any of their information here.
Need for $2.25 million for a daycare.
No. $1 million. I don't worry about it. Get out.
Okay.
Get out.
And it's licensed for 100.
Maybe it's a daycare for these men. Maybe, I don't know. There's a child's daycare, but
118 children, but I don't see any footprints of any children here. I don't see any footprints of any children here.
Get out, guys, get out. No, I'm not asking nothing, man.
I'm just asking you about.
it probably would have been good for them to clarify if it's a legit business. Oh, this is a better piece of better angle for this piece of paper. I just don't understand what this is. Like, childcare addresses. Okay. Proud Care Center. The daycare during the pandemic. Which one is this? Is this Hopkins? Hopkins. Let's see. 2024 did 1.10 million CCAV located in Never Building on Main Street. Okay. With business on main floor and housing above. This is a cupcake store on the corner next to daycare. There is a brewery on the other corner. One time when I visited there, got staff at brewery to say little activity regarding kids being around there. Nuts. No signage outside front. They come in the back of the building, but it's a something alley, a normal alley. Could park on the side street, 7th Street, and walk behind this daycare. Past few years has been the top 10 most years in CCAP payment. Okay. Maybe this one is fraudulent. I don't know. Interesting. All right.
No, get out. Get out our business. Get out,
sir.
This is my property.
You have millions of people watching right now. Can you say what's the need for $2.25 million?
It's interesting because this one's, if there's apartment complex up top and they have this like listed as a child care facility, it's possible that, and I don't know if this is what it is, but it's possible that they have like an apartment complex registered as a child care facility so that they could try to get money out of the government. Like, that is possible. I don't know if that's the case. Their sign looks like shit. They don't really have any activity. This one actually might be legit. But okay.
Why
Is this one at the back of the video though? This seems to be like the most damning one. This seems to be his most damning one. like his best one.
Get out!
18 children.
Get out!
Sir, I'm just asking a simple question.
Get out! No, you don't.
Yeah, there doesn't seem like this. I don't think there's any sources on the money that they're talking about. I think they're just. I don't know where they're getting this information from. Well, then again, David works with the local GOP. They gave him a bunch of information. So.
Get out!
You have the opportunity to answer the question.
No. You can't ask. You can't ask me nothing. Get out! Get out! Out of this, man. Get out! Get out, motherfucker! Get out!
Sir,
Get out!
just answer the question.
No.
Just answer
Get
the
out!
question.
No, get out! Leave!
Sir, just answer the simple question.
Hey, don't touch me. Don't touch me.
You YouTube, man. Get out!
All right, code word has been given. We're out.
The code word has been given. What the hell does that mean?
All right, we gotta get out of here.
Get out!
Sir, just answer the question. Where are the children? No footprints of any children around here. No footprints of any children. They can't even answer the question. We gave them so many opportunities. We gave them plenty of opportunities. Just answer some simple questions.
Dude, he looks like he's gonna cry.
Millions of people are watching right now.
They came out with guns blazing. All we want to know is where are the children? 118 children, no footprints in the snow. All of their vehicles were sitting there.
Although I will say, if the children are in apartments that are above, maybe it is a legit daycare because they can come down below. I don't know.
With 2 feet of snow on them, they haven't moved in months.
The windows are all blacked out.
Whoa, yeah. Why would you do that?
It's the same thing at all these daycares. 4 men came out, yet they couldn't answer the simple question. We had it right here. 118 children. $2.25 million this year.
Nick actually looks like he's going to cry. Look at this guy. He looks like he's legitimately going to cry right now.
Welcome to Minnesota.
Now this daycare center, how much money has this one received?
So this daycare, this child.
Is he wearing glasses with a camera in him, or is that a screw?
Center, how much money has this one received?
So this daycare, this child care center is called Proud Child Care Center, and it's in Eden Prairie, Minnesota, which is a very high income area. It's a further out suburb from Minneapolis, but there are a lot of multi-billion-dollar homes.
Cool.
Right.
Multi-billion?
From Minneapolis, but there are a lot of multi-billion-dollar homes.
Multi-billion? I think he meant million.
Right in this neighborhood, and this childcare got $1.25 million in.
I just don't know where he's getting this from, but maybe he's right. I don't. All right.
Funding in fiscal year 2025. It got $1.08 million last year. It opened in 2021. Let's go see if we can find any kids.
There should be at least 40 children here. Looking at the snow prints, does not look like there's any snow prints of any young children. And all.
Are you like an expert on young child's footprints?
All of these windows are completely blacked out. Let's see.
Well, it seems like they have a bunch of kids stuff here, though. No.
Young children, and all of these windows are completely blacked out. Let's see if we could just talk to somebody. Could I enroll?
What's the day right now? What day are they? Where are they?
Enroll my son Joey into daycare here.
Okay.
Well, do you have a paperwork where I can enroll a child? Who are you? Oh, my name's Nick Shirley. I was wondering if I could enroll a child. I have a son named Joey.
Who are you?
Why Joey?
My name's Nick Shirley.
So where you come from?
Yeah, I'm just coming out and seeing if I could enroll my child, Joey. We just want to get a statement as to why this daycare needs $1.26 million, and if it's even possible to enroll somebody like my child, my imaginary child, Joey.
It's doing great work, bud. Your imaginary child.
No, you guys can't give a clear statement, or could you even give me a paper to enroll a child into the daycare?
Yeah, if they're little kids, then maybe they're just being carried inside.
Just to show that you guys are a legit business. It would debunk all claims if you could just give me a piece of paper saying where to enroll a child. You can't do that. Okay, well, thank you very much. And
well, that was the best thing he's done so far. Give me a piece of paper to actually enroll my child. Can you give me something? Do they tell him to use a cell phone?
You can't do that. Okay, well, thank you very much. And I hope this place actually is holding 47 children because you guys are receiving $1.26 million in this year alone. So have a great rest of your day. They won't even give us a paper to enroll.
Proud Child Care Center. I'm just so confused.
Old child. Could have debunked all their claims.
Could have. That's true, I guess. It does say that they're open, though. It does say that they're open, so.
They can't even do it. One of the big talks about the fraud is about Quality Leering Center.
Okay.
It's a daycare that has received $1.9 million. It's licensed for over 99 children.
Yeah, it's just weird because there were like car seats and shit all over the place and a bunch of kids stuff in this hallway, and they're like, "There's no kids here. This looks legit." I don't know. I mean,
It's a daycare that has received $1.9 million. It's licensed for over 99
yeah, that's licensed for the maximum number of kids. It doesn't mean that's the maximum. Like they're actually getting that many people in there.
children. And instead of quality learning, it says quality leering outside. But the big controversy about the Quality Leering Center is that Somalians, after the video went live, they all of a sudden started shuffling children into the daycare. But at the same time, the commissioner of children of Minnesota was on a live stream saying they had closed the daycare a week ago.
Quality Learning Center.
Which is probably true. It seems like the Quality Leering Center shut down. So it did look like they were being fucking weird about that one.
Closed just over a week ago.
Which is going to give them the ability to be like, oh, look, it's a conspiracy. See, look, they can just get a bunch of kids to go in there at the end at a whim, you know?
So
how much money has this place all received? And what's...
This is the one that's...
I think he loves saying leering because I don't think he can say learning very well.
licensed for 99 children. This fiscal year, they've received 1.9 million, and in fiscal year 2024, they had received about 2.2 million, so about 4 million.
Whoa, is that true? Are they going back to the Quality Leering Center?
In the last 2 fiscal years.
We're up in the Quality Leering Center, 1-800-FRAUD, as now it had been confirmed that this place was closed down, and now they're shuffling children into the daycare.
Oh,
So
maybe they opened it back up.
Tiki Brown said this facility was closed.
She said a week ago.
And now, magically,
They got some other guy there too.
it's full of cars. So how can it be closed if people are coming and going?
Fraud. Why do you have every...
Oh, maybe she misspoke. Who the fuck knows?
Yeah. Okay, this is the owner right here.
This guy's fucking. This guy literally is a black Nick Shirley.
So you guys can record.
And so they, how come they said this building was closed? We're trying to speak to the owner. They won't even answer a simple question. Look, now he's going inside.
Sir, don't run though. It looks suspicious when you run, brother. And you can smile, but bro.
Sir, I'm right here.
She said they decided to close, not that they were closed. Oh, you're saying that they would close like another time.
He's right here to speak to you.
I'm right here.
Don't do that. Oh,
you can't defend the fraud.
Oh, come on. At the daycare doing, hey, not at the daycare doing the middle finger, though.
We have like 100 cameras on it. Now, both of these people have interesting ties with politicians inside of Minnesota. For instance, the man who's running the daycare, he was celebrating with Mayor Fry after he won re-election of mayor inside of Minneapolis.
Okay, well, that's kind of normal for a business owner to be friends with these people, but okay.
And then this lady right here seems to be a friend of Ilhan Omar, as she has photos with her outside of the restaurant, and she also has videos of her giving a tour to a separate daycare to Mayor Fry. It really makes you wonder why these politicians haven't fought against the fraud, knowing that it's happened in locations like the Quality Leering Center. Meanwhile, they're taking photos and celebrating with them.
But they are investigating the fraud. I'm so confused. They are being investigated. This is the part that's so fucking weird.
At events. What's your message, people, on the fraud here in Minnesota?
This is part of the cover-up. They're trying to cover their tracks.
Maybe. I'm so burnt out by the end of this video. We've been fucking doing this video for like 3 hours. Just like meticulously looking into every little thing that's going on here. And then like pausing the recording and doing so much shit. So it's like, holy fuck, what a burnout. By this time, like, I don't know what to tell you. The Quality Leering Center. They have a bunch of violations. There's probably kids there. I don't know if it's closed down or not. There's some confusing aspects. I'm burnt out at this point by the end of this. But okay. It says its license closed effectively on January 6th. So that's what it's saying. And so at what point are they there? Oh, you know, that's one of the problems. It released 3 weeks later. When did the first video get released? December 26th. So what is that? I mean, how many days are in fucking December, bro? Let's find out. Let's find out. 1, 2, 3. Wow, great. I have no calendar on my fucking phone. Right, because today is the 18th of January that I'm looking at this. The first video comes out the 26th. So there's 31 weeks. It's 31 weeks. 31 days in there. So we have 1 week. So like say 7, 8, 9, 10. So there's like 10 days in between his first video and his second video that the Quality Leering Center might still be operating up until the end of the year. So it's really not that suspicious that they would still be open for like 10 more days. And this video is 2 weeks between. So it's possible that all of this was recorded in between those 10 days. And they, like, it does this really not that suspicious.
So let me say this on camera. If you can
Like, what's the date? I wish they would put the date on the screen, but I think it's intentional.
prove that any of the information that I have here is false, I'll give you $100,000 cash.
Whoa, do you have that, David?
Okay.
If any of it's false or inaccurate in any way.
You gotta give up the paper, I guess.
Anybody want to take me up? And if you can't prove it, you have to give me $100.
Okay.
So you saying all that's real?
100%. I'll give you $100,000 if you can disprove my information.
Well, what's his information? Is his information just here's the name of the places and here's the money I say that they get, but you can't really disprove that. The issue, like nobody's talking about, like what are you going to disprove? The addresses on there, the address, and you can't disprove how much money they're getting because nobody knows. David has, like, I guess, insider sources, so there's really nothing. There's nothing to promise because the issue isn't what's on the paper. The issue is that they're going to these different places and saying there's no kids there. I mean, like the one place that they went to and there was a bunch of car seats for children and children's seats, but I guess whatever.
They all went silent. Silent.
Why don't you show us the information on the page?
Anybody? Your $100 versus my $100,000 cash.
They're all silent. What do you think about the fraud here?
I don't understand. Like, what are you going to prove wrong on the paper?
$1,000 cash.
They're all silent.
What information is on the page? I can't even read it. It's too blurry. Like, I'm not going to be able to read this. It's fucking ridiculous. I don't even know. What is this? What the fuck is all this stuff? I don't know what information this is. Why not make this a public thing?
What do you think about the fraud here?
Hey, the fraud here in Minnesota, I ain't gonna lie, it's crazy. Like, what do you mean specifically? What do you mean?
Yeah, how do you feel about this daycare, for instance, receiving $1.9 million? And they couldn't even spell learning right. They spelled leering.
Hey, man.
I don't know, man. It's kind of typical of immigrant communities. Sometimes they spell shit wrong. I don't care.
And Somalis, they're an interesting creature. I'm not gonna lie, I can't say too much. I'm already too hot. But, I mean, Tim Walz, you gotta solve this stuff. Minnesota really cracked down on this because they've been doing this for years. So
should Tim Walz be prosecuted?
Hell yeah.
And at this point,
for what? Do you think he knows about it?
You're probably wondering where all the millions and billions of dollars has gone.
Billions, holy shit.
Well, it's been well tracked that a lot of the money, millions, hundreds of millions of dollars, has been funneled through TSA at the airport inside of Minnesota. It's
so they're investigating it. Okay.
been well tracked and documented. Even in 2017, there was reports coming from the local Fox News station, and I was actually able to meet up with a whistleblower who used to work as an agent at TSA on the side of narcotics, and he saw millions of dollars go through TSA.
Oh, okay. Again, like, what are you proving here? That Minnesota's been dealing with this problem for a long time? Okay.
And what kind of fraud did you see take place here in Minnesota?
So I worked for the airport police for 31 years. 24 of those years I worked in narcotics at MSP Airport. Okay. And my recollection was from about 2015-16 to 2021 when I retired. I would get emails from our dispatch.
You only had to work 30 years? Damn. Fucking retired at like 50. What the fuck? What an asshole. That's the real fraud, is that police can retire so early. You know? Okay. All right.
Saying, like, two male Somali descent individuals. They would give us their names. They claimed the cash, that they had a large amount of cash at the checkpoints. We'd get all this information in an email, and I believe they would send it right away. So TSA would contact our dispatch telling us this, then our dispatch would relay the info via email to us.
And how much was the money?
The money...
How much was the money?
The smallest amount in a suitcase that I heard was like $750,000.
Whoa, that's a lot.
But generally, it was anywhere from $1 million to $6 million in a suitcase. And there usually was...
Wow, that's a lot. That's crazy. I'm trying to find the actual news article. I have no idea what this is. There's not even a headline on what they're talking about. This is the real American voice, which I am not interested in. I am interested in looking at this Fox News thing, but I don't know what the fuck this is from.
There's reports coming from the local Fox News station.
This is
and I was actually able to meet up with...
About what?
There's reports billions of dollars has gone. Well, it's been well tracked that a lot of the money, millions, hundreds of millions of dollars, has been funneled through TSA.
TSA seizures Minnesota airport. Okay, I'm gonna look that up. Let's see if we can find something. All right, I think we found the full. This looks like the full thing. It's 9:13, 66 degrees in this video. It's 9:13, 66 degrees in this video. This has got to be what he's referencing. Let's take a watch at it. Let's see what this article reports, man.
For 5 months, we've been investigating what appears to be rampant fraud in a massive state program. A fraud suspected of costing Minnesota taxpayers as much as $100 million a year. Our reporting is based on public records and nearly a dozen government sources who have direct knowledge of what's happening. These sources have a deep fear, and there's evidence to support their concerns that some of that public money is ending up in the hands of terrorists. We begin at Minneapolis-St. Paul International Airport, where mysterious suitcases filled with cash have become a fairly common carry-on. It's the morning of March 15th. We're chasing a tip about a man who's leaving the country. Our sources tell us he just took a carry-on bag through security that was packed with $1 million cash. You can do that as long as you fill out one of these government forms. We're told these cloak and dagger-like scenarios now happen almost weekly at MSP International. The money is usually headed to the Middle East, Dubai, and points beyond. Our sources say last year alone, more than $100 million cash left MSP in carry-on luggage.
That's fucking crazy. I wonder if there is like a huge issue or if there's just a bunch of Somalian people getting together and sending money back. I thought that doesn't seem as likely.
What we were interested in is where it was going.
The national go-to expert on what's behind these mysterious money transfers is Glenn Kearns. He's a former Seattle police detective who spent 15 years on the FBI's Joint Terrorism Task Force until his retirement.
It's an outright crime. It's unbelievable.
Kearns tracked millions of dollars in cash that was leaving on flights from Seattle. It was coming from hawalas, businesses used to courier money to countries that have no official banking system. Some immigrant communities rely on hawalas to send funds to help impoverished relatives back home. Kearns discovered some of the money was being funneled to a hawala in a region of Somalia that's controlled by the Al-Shabaab terrorist group.
So I talked to
a
couple sources who had lived in that region, and I said, if money is going to this hawala, do you think it's going to Al-Shabaab? And he said, oh, definitely. That area is controlled by Al-Shabaab, and they control the hawala there.
He says when the money arrives, whether it was intended for legitimate purposes or not, Al-Shabaab or other groups demand a cut. As Kearns dug deeper, he found that some of the individuals who were sending out tens of thousands of dollars worth of remittance payments happened to be on government assistance in this country. Al-Shabaab or other groups demand a cut. As Kearns dug deeper, he found that some of the individuals who were sending out tens of thousands of dollars worth of remittance payments happened to be on government assistance in this country.
Okay, interesting. So some of the money comes from that. I wonder where the rest of it comes from. It seems like some of the people, there's like a collection of people who send money back home in one big burst. Some people that are on welfare services. Where does all this money come from, though?
How could they possibly come up with such big bucks to transfer back home?
We had sources that told us it's all about it's welfare fraud. It's all about the daycare.
To better understand the connection between daycare fraud and the surge in carry-on cash, you have to look at the history of this crime. 5 years ago, the Fox 9 investigators were first to report that daycare fraud was on the rise here in Minnesota. We exposed how some businesses were gaming the system to steal millions in government subsidies meant to help low-income families with their child care expenses.
This is a great way to make some money. I think it's kind of that informal word of mouth.
In order for the scheme to work, the daycare centers need to sign up low-income families that qualify for child care assistance funding. These surveillance videos are from a case prosecuted by Hennepin County. They show parents checking their kids into a center only to leave with them a few minutes later. Sometimes no children would show up. But either way, the center would bill the state for a full day of childcare. This video from that same case shows a man handing out envelopes of what are believed to be kickback payments to parents who are in on the fraud.
Where was the money going? I don't know exactly where it went. But
it's so interesting because this is actually laid out so much better. That doesn't mean that like Nick Shirley's specific examples are fraudulent, but this is actual investigative reporting. This is journalism. This is them sitting outside. Like literally Fox News is like, hey, years ago, we sat outside and we watched the kids go in and see who went out. We did our due diligence. Why didn't Nick Shirley do this if he's so sure that there's fraud? Why not do a stakeout? Set up, just park a car in the parking lot with a camera that's on there. See like who's going in. Maybe there is fraud, but like he's not doing any of this. So it's kind of ridiculous. Like even if he's right, it would be on a fluke. How is this still happening? I guess it's just really deep into the center. I would imagine that the reason that it's still happening is because well, this is 7 years ago. This is right when like the so they started to uncover this welfare fraud scheme. And then as time rolls on, COVID happens, and it makes it more difficult to actually confirm whether these people are doing a bad thing because, we're all social distancing. You're not trying to go around. Daycare centers probably aren't even open at that point, so you can't even see if they're going in and out, but they're still probably getting like big PPE loans or whatever the fuck they're called, like big like business loans that are usually you don't have to pay back, like Ben Shapiro got them and whatnot. There's handouts from the government. So, yeah.
But it adds up when you begin to look at how many people are involved.
One recent federal case points to at least some of the money going overseas. This is video of Fozia Ali being sworn in as a member of the City of Hopkins Park Board. As she was taking her oath of office, she was also under investigation for wire fraud and theft of public money.
What the fuck? The fuck?
State and federal agents had already raided Ali's daycare center in South Minneapolis. The business was suspected of billing the government for over $1 million worth of bogus childcare services.
We found records that indicated that she was collecting a significant amount of money for a much larger number of children than were actually attending the center.
Did any of the money go overseas?
We are aware that some of the funds went overseas.
Shit, how the fuck did she get elected then? What the fuck?
Which she was cashing out.
Wait, hold on. Oh, they charged her. They actually, so Twin Cities child care provider charged with stealing hundreds of thousands from low-income assistance program. So they charged this woman with financial fraud in 2017. They busted her. Okay. And what was she getting sworn in for?
Being sworn in as a member of the City of Hopkins Park Board. As she was taking her oath of office, she was also under investigation for wire fraud and theft of public money. State and federal agents had already raided Ali's daycare center.
All right, so she got arrested, I believe. So.
In South Minneapolis, the business was suspected of billing the government for over $1 million worth of bogus childcare services.
We found records that indicated that she was collecting a significant amount of money for a much larger number of children than were actually attending the center.
Did any of the money go overseas?
We are aware that some of the funds went overseas, which she was cashing out money from the business.
Do you have any idea what it was going for?
I can't say.
Can't say or don't know?
I can't say.
Investigators analyzed Ali's cell phone to track her activities. She'd taken a 2-month trip from Minnesota to Dubai and then Kenya, staying at times in $800 a night hotel rooms. She used an app on her phone to bill the state of Minnesota for childcare services while she was out of the country.
That's fucking insane. This is local Fox News. They actually do real, local news stations are much more likely to actually do their due diligence than the actual Fox News. Actual Fox News is dog shit.
Ali pled guilty to the daycare fraud, and this March started serving time in a federal prison. She declined our request for an interview.
Fuck you, bitch.
A scope of fraud out there that we need to really get our arms around and ensure that those dollars are going to the kids that really need them.
The acting commissioner for the Department of Human Services told us his agency has 10 daycares currently under active investigation for fraud. We've learned dozens more are considered suspicious. Search warrants obtained by the Fox 9 investigators show each one of the suspect centers has received several $1 million in child care assistance funds.
Yeah, they're affiliates, yeah.
According to public each one of the suspect centers has received several $1 million in child care assistance funds. According to public records and government sources, most are owned by Somali immigrants.
Do you have any
evidence to suggest this looks like organized crime?
There's a common pattern in how a lot of these are carried out, but beyond that, not something that I would directly categorize as organized crime.
Oh, they wouldn't or they would?
In how a lot of these are carried out, but beyond that, not something that I would directly.
And government sources, most are owned by Somali immigrants. Do you have any evidence to suggest this looks like organized crime?
There's a common pattern in how a lot of these are carried out, but beyond that, not something that I would directly categorize as organized crime.
Sources in the Somali community tell us it's an open secret that starting a daycare center is a license to make money. The fraud is so widespread, they say, that people buy shares of daycare businesses to get a cut of the huge public subsidies that are pouring in. Some government.
Bro, my thing is why the fuck aren't they like? It seems like Minnesota needs to get their shit together in general on like who's qualified. That seems to be their biggest issue.
Government insiders believe this scam is costing the state at least $100 million a year, half of all child care subsidies.
Wow.
Is that within the realm of possibility?
I don't think half sounds credible. I certainly think that some of the schemes that we're seeing, and certainly the ones that we
$1
million a year, half of all child care subsidies. Is that within?
What the fuck? They're estimated, so they're estimating it. So like they're it's not like factual, but up to a half of all the fucking like $100 million a year. That's crazy.
Is that within the realm of possibility?
I don't think half sounds credible. I certainly think that some of the schemes that we're seeing, and certainly the ones that we brought forward already for prosecution, involve millions of dollars. I mean, this is not a small.
Okay, so some people just say half, but like, there's no credibility to it. But there's this guy's like, no, there's millions of dollars.
Scale that we're looking at.
Minnesota started aggressively going after daycare fraud in 2014. Back then, it was easier to track the flow of money. The state would pay a daycare's bill, and within hours of the money showing up in the business's bank account, funds were being wired to the United Arab Emirates. But those wire transfers stopped after a few centers were busted.
Right.
Which takes us back to the suitcases of cash.
Ah, okay. So at first they were doing wiring, but now they're figuring that out. Okay.
At Minneapolis St. Paul International. In 2015, investigators documented $14 million in carry-on cash. By 2016, it had mushroomed to $84 million, and then last year, $100 million. A trend all too familiar to former terrorism investigator Glenn Kearns. How much confidence can you say that it's likely some of this money is going towards terrorism?
I'd say absolutely. Absolutely. Our sources tell us that. Good sources from the community, leaders. My personal feeling is we need a nationwide task force to clamp down on this kind of fraud.
This crime is
I mean, I agree with that.
spreading. Our sources tell us fraudsters in other states are now using the Minnesota playbook to rip off millions of public dollars meant to help kids. I'm Fox 9 investigator Jeff Ballion.
Okay. Interesting. That was an actual, we just watched like a real investigative research that actually, so this is real. This is actual investigation. They have the money. They see where it's going back and forth. Nick Shirley still hasn't done anything. But okay, let's see what we got here.
Worked for the airport police for 31 years. 24 of those years I worked in narcotics at MSP Airport. And
when did David start his his own investigation? They've been doing this since 2014.
My recollection was from about 2015-16 to 2021 when I retired. I would get emails from our dispatch saying like 2 male Somali descent individuals. They would give us their names. They claimed the cash, that they had a large amount of cash at the checkpoints. We'd get all this information in an email, and I believe they would send it right away. So TSA would contact our dispatch telling us this, then our dispatch would relay the info via email to us.
And how much was the money?
The money, the smallest amount.
How much was the money?
In a suitcase that I heard was like $750,000. But generally, it was anywhere from $1 million to $6 million in a suitcase. And there usually was, as far as I can remember, there was always 2 individuals traveling. So you would have maybe one guy with $2.2 million and another guy with $3 million. And
at airports, you're able to take $10,000 without declaring it. How are these guys able to take millions of dollars?
Because as far as I know, as long as they declared it, they were fine. So then TSA would contact HSI and Customs, and I'm sure they got the information. We got the information. My administration knew about it, and I trust that they sent that on to higher state officials on this, but nothing was ever done the whole time I was there. I talked to one.
Well, you don't necessarily know it, does he?
One individual. We were going after.
Well, you're the narcotics division.
Narcotic cash leaving the airport. This was always fraud. We had no nexus to that. So this cash was.
So just to be absolutely clear, a different institution would go after the fraud. They wouldn't have the narcotics people go after money that would potentially be used for terrorism, right? Am I fucking stupid?
Related to narcotics. So our hands were kind of tied. We couldn't do a whole lot.
How do you suspect these Somalians had millions of dollars to move in an airport?
We would rack our heads all the time, like, where are they getting this?
This guy has no idea. I'm not trying to be an asshole. This guy has no idea what he's talking about. Where are they getting this? Like, yeah, we just watched a whole thing on it where there were people defrauding the daycare centers.
Where in the world are they getting
So this guy like had nothing to do, like he had no real information or know anything about anything.
It's money. And I had heard about these daycares and whatnot, but I mean, I thought at the time, okay, maybe they had 10 daycares, but apparently they have.
He has to stop showing his biggest L here. This is fucking crazy.
Have a lot more than that.
This again, like he says, like 14 of these are healthcare services, and they're not.
We were all just racking our heads trying to figure this out.
So you openly saw just millions of dollars get moved through these airports.
I saw one time. I saw an open suitcase with the cash because we were looking into seeing if it was narcotics related, which it was not.
How much money do you think moved through the airport?
You only saw it one time?
Or in your time?
Millions, literally millions and millions. I mean, we're talking for a good 5-6 years, you're talking, I don't know, 5 to 6 million a week. It would happen twice a week. You would get twice a week where there would be somebody flying, 2 people flying out with $1 to $2 to $3 to $4 or $5 million twice a week, every week, without fail.
And where were those people traveling to?
So
the Middle East, right?
This is the word I got, that they would fly to Atlanta.
The word you got?
Take.
How this guy doesn't seem to know. Wait, what was his job again? I want to see. What does he do again?
What kind of fraud did you see take place here in Minnesota?
So I worked for the airport police for 31 years. 24 of those years I worked in narcotics at MSP Airport. And my recollection was from about 2015.
Okay, so he was a narcotics officer. Oh, so I'm not trying to be an asshole. He doesn't know anything. He has no idea about any of this. He was just a narcotics police officer that worked closely with the TSA, but it wasn't even on this side. Okay. I mean, I'm not saying that he's necessarily wrong, but he's making as many speculations as we are. We know that there was Somali daycare fraud, and they were funneling that money into the Middle East. So
that they would fly to Atlanta, take a flight from Atlanta to Dubai, and then apparently what I had heard was it was too busy or too dangerous to.
Yeah, we would just watch the whole news report on that. No. He's recalling the same video we just watched.
Go any further with it, so they'd wire the money to Somalia. Whether they scraped a whole bunch off the top and did that, I don't know.
Wow, so they take the money from Minnesota, take it to Atlanta, and then take it to Dubai, and then from Dubai they then wire the money.
Correct. I don't know that for sure, but that's what I was told by other investigators.
So your friends told you? Okay.
All the taxpayers' dollars were getting funneled through the airports and then taken to Dubai to be sent to Somalia.
Yes. It appears that's how it all went down. Yes.
Crazy. It is time to hold the fraudsters accountable, but they have been. We've watched it. They arrested people. This is such a weird video. We all work too hard for billions of dollars to be stolen from our pockets. Well, you don't work hard at all, Nick. Journalism that creates change. Thank you, supporting and sharing is so funny. All right, what an interestingly terrible video. You guys told me to watch this. This is a minute long.
Yeah, of course we should. We have to do it. It's embarrassing that Congress hasn't done this before. These are financial controls that any company would have on corporate money. Any good company would have it. The board of directors would fire them if they didn't. I don't know why in the world we wouldn't have those kinds of controls. But, that's the problem with big government. When you're spending other people's money, it becomes easy, I guess, to just think it's okay to do that. And we've got folks right now saying, well, we don't want to share our books. We don't want to open our books and show you show the federal government what's, being done with some of these fraud cases and things. Baloney. This is the federal government. These are taxpayer dollars. We're asking people in my home state of Colorado to send in their hard-earned money and fund something in Minnesota or some other state. We better have better control over that money. And I think it's the tip of the iceberg. This is going to be an unfolding scandal, not just in Minnesota, but I think we're going to see fraud has been rampant in the system for many years.
I mean, I guess I agree with the guy. They should have better controls over the money. Well, maybe they'll implement some more controls over the money, I guess, and that'll be good. But it seems like they've been cracking down on a lot of this for a long time. Okay. Happy we went through that video. It started horribly. The end was kind of better, but I think it was mostly because we watched that independent Fox News article that actually showed us real, meaningful journalism. So the last thing I thought about, like, because I'm looking at all these different articles, is that, like, I wanted to know, like, what have they been doing? Right, so just very basic. What was Minnesota doing to stop daycare before Nick Shirley? And it seems like they've been putting in a lot of effort into doing that. The creation of a new department to consolidate childcare licensing, auditing, and oversight to make it easier to track who's taking advantage of these funds. Targeted investigations and prosecutions. We know that they were going after a bunch of people. They went after a massive $300 million feeding our future pandemic food fraud. Early and often program. The Department of DHS began expanding the early and often program to increase monitoring attendance record keeping of new child and care centers to ensure compliance. Legislative action. Passed a new law criminalizing kickbacks for child care program enrollment referrals. And small investigation teams that are going on here. DHS utilized a team of 4 investigators to look into CCAP fraud, which had resulted in stop payments to 79 providers since 2020. And recovered roughly $2.5 million, so that's pretty big. And increased audits. Following May 2025, federal audits that found 11% of payments in 2023 had errors or lacked proper documentation, saving and increasing compliance checks and audits. Okay. This is important too. Despite these actions, audits in early 2025 indicated that Minnesota still had limited oversight to proactively prevent fraud, often relying on retrospective audits rather than real-time monitoring of attendance records. The state was already overwhelmed with investigations into other massive fraud schemes, such as the $18 million in federal funds for various Minnesota programs that federal prosecutors noted were subjected to significant fraud. That's interesting. Okay, so it seems like they were overburdened in their investigation, so they went much slower than they needed to go. Which is a little weird because they had a pretty sure did they have like a big budget? Like a pretty big budget surplus? I don't know. But it seems like they've been doing a lot for years and trying to figure this out. So I don't think they really uncovered anything. I guess the good news is the spotlight's on Minnesota now to figure this problem out to a greater degree. But overall, it seems like this was being handled for quite a while. Okay.